but we'll be right back.
I don't know, আমার হাই মাস্টার থেকে নবার আমার ঘুম করতেছে নাকি খেলা দেখে এরকম লাগতেছে আমার পছন্দ নিজের টিম না দেখলে এরকম লাগে হ্যাঁ দাঁড়া একটা কাজ করবো তুমি তোমার স্ক্রিনটা বন্ধ করে আমার সঙ্গে চলে আসো
যেহেতু গোল গেমিং এ অনেক গুণ আছে গোল গেমিং এ হইতে পারে কোনো ব্যাপার না গোল গেমিং স্ট্রিমের অডিয়েন্সরা যারা গেমিং চ্যানেল করতে পারে আমি একদম ঠিক আছে কালকে মনে হয় আর
Hi everyone, it's Yunso, and I'm right here at the Boulevard Street. I wish you guys could be here because it's very fun here. Many things to explore. But you know what, today, because I'm having a bad day because all of my city regions, they seem to be like, doesn't have a good game. So I'm going to this ice cream store to sweeten my things out. Hello. So there are plenty of flavors, but I think I'm going to do a mix.
কমেন্টটা মানে কমেন্ট করলে একটু প্রপারলি করা যাতে চোখ করলে ইয়া হয় কমেন্ট কিন্তু স্ক্রল আপ হয়ে যায় অনেক তাড়াতাড়ি
I've never seen this type. I mean, I saw it a lot on social, but I never had it before.
ফাইনাল
But
খেলা
it
ফাইনাল
looks
কালকে খেলা
interesting.
মাই ফেভারিট ইভেন্ট হচ্ছে ঠিক আছে ওখানে
What is
থেকে
this?
ওকে দ্যাট লস টিম সাপোর্ট করতেছে ওকে আজকে পয়েন্ট রাশ কালকে ফাইনাল মানে কাইন্ডা বলতে গেলে আজকে পয়েন্ট
how can
কালকে
he-
ইফেক্ট খেলাবে আর কি ঠিক আছে কয়েকটা টিম ব্রাউন ওয়ে থেকে দেখতেছি হ্যালো
What is it?
মাশাআল্লাহ মাশাআল্লাহ ইনশাআল্লাহ
I'm
জাপানি
being
মেয়ে
blessed.
টাওয়ার
I'm
লাগবে
being
জাপানি
blessed.
yes
That's big. How did?
thank you focus viewers
When I can.
oh
Now I understand the people like on social when they need their ice cream, but they cannot have their ice cream actually. But how did he pluck a big thing like that? Oh,
thank you very much
thank you. Oh,
oh
I thought I could.
thank you
Oh, thank you.
thank you
Oh, thank you. Oh,
oh
how can? Thank you. Finally, I have my ice cream here. Enjoy.
Escogí Free Fire porque lo empecé a jugar con mis primos o familiares, entonces pasaba buen tiempo con ellos jugando Free. Bueno, mi motivación siempre va a ser mi familia y mis amigos que siempre me apoyan en todo esto.
He is the clutch king of R7.
La verdad, un sueño, es como algo muy importante para mí en verdad. Pues vengo a ganar obviamente, creo que es uno de mis mayores sueños, entonces obviamente vengo con todo el power.
Movistar R7.
Creo que lo que más nos diferencia como equipo es la sinergia que tenemos todos juntos y el buen ambiente que manejamos.
Come on, don't sleep, man.
¿Cuál tu arma favorita?
La espada bulla.
Now they're still hunting those white tigers.
No depende contra nadie con quien me esté enfrentando, siempre soy agresivo.
Games Kings is going to be player number 2 to make contact right around the corner.
Nosotros no tenemos rivales, sí, no tenemos rivales, todos los tomamos como por igual.
Games king has done the chat and Moshi is on the ground, giving the 5th point here for R7.
Que se preparen porque R7 va a ir a comerse a todo el mapa.
But R7 playing it smart, going in for the flank around, but one great big mistake and R7 delivers their first booyah of the day. Movistar R7 proving exactly who the stars are.
ไม่ได้รถจอดไม่รอเอ๊ะมีแม็กเอให้ทิ้งให้กูป่ะกูรอจอดให้เดี๋ยวเจ็บหมดแล้วนะกูอยากดันว่ะรอพี่รอดันนะเว้ยดันเอ้ยขึ้นซ้ายมาจับมาโอเคกูปาเขียวให้นะกูปาเขียวให้กูมีการระเบิดไอ้ซ้ายจะดาวกดการระเบิดให้จับกดกลางไอ้นี่ให้ดาวสวยดาวหนึ่งแล้วมันดีไปหลังเฮ้ยมันกดเข็มดาวไอ้มีน้องออกได้หมดเว้ยสวยมาดิวะมาดิ
Core Memory launched themselves up that
that leaderboard by securing a booyah on Purgatory. And just when we think we know what's kind of happening in these matches on the panel, it just seems that there's just a brand new surprise. It looked like it was going to be Falcons just doing their old shenanigans, biding their time, making it to that circle, but they get cut down in that game. EVOS also looking like monsters in that game, also getting cut down just because of that circle, Gideon. Break it down, because I know you have all the details on what was really the main factor as to why Core Memory got that booyah.
I mean, there's two main factors here, right? We can talk about the end circle, which we'll get into in just a little bit, but let's talk about the very beginning of the game, because right now it's a sick game of Mafia Werewolf where that one guy immediately out of the gate starts pointing at people saying, hey, I think it's you. You're the guy who's taking everybody out. The accuser in this particular case is going to be R7, Pain Gaming, alongside with RRQ, which is very surprising because the Indonesian playstyle is very much around, I want to aggress once I have information, when I know what that final ring looks like.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is one thing that we are, well, not really expecting to see, but I love seeing. But as we look in the match ranking right now, despite of Core Memory XKOG grabbing that booyah, EVOS just managed to grab a lot of elimination. So I guess at this point, there's still a chase on that leaderboard. Later on, we might see who will be on the top.
I mean, for Core Memory, I think they are trying to play it safe, you know. They are not chasing to fight against other teams, and that's the reason that they only got, 5 eliminations. But that's not bad, because they also had the booyah, so they can have like a bunch of points, and maybe if they keep that type of game, they can be, in the top of the ranking, you know.
I mean, it does help to play safe, especially for Point Rush, right? Because you could try to play the very risky play style, you try to be the aggressors, but we've seen time and time again, sometimes it just doesn't work. And I think especially for today, with how slowly and how intentionally teams are moving on the map, it's almost like if you try to jump on them, they're going to punish you if you overstep.
But that's the thing, right? The only teams that really got hard punished in this particular case, were one of the aggressors, which in this case is RRQ, eventually taken out by DRG, which is great for them because they ended up with 15 points at the very end. And then you were wondering, hey, what about the other aggressors? Pain Gaming and R7, despite being hyper aggressive, and Pain Gaming in particular putting an insane amount of pressure onto Fluxo, we're walking away with 16 points on that very first page, despite not being able to get into those final rings. So technically it works out.
Well, we're going to give the teams a bit of a breather as they get ready for the next matchup, but we are going to have a little bit more fun because we have the Dr. Slime and Al Habib hot takes. Let's see what the teams have to say.
What is up, folks? Welcome to Hot Takes at Free Fire at Esports World Cup 2025. I'm your host, Husky, and with me on the couch today, I got two handsome gentlemen from Team Falcons. I think the weather in Riyadh is perfect for this segment because it's pretty hot out there, and that's why we're having hot takes. So now I want to hear your hot takes, right? The most unpopular opinion you have. What are your odds of winning? 0 to 100. Can Team Falcons win again?
70 แล้วกันผม50 เพราะว่ามันเปลี่ยนกฎกติกามาใหม่มันมีกฎใหม่เข้ามาทำให้หลายๆทีมมีโอกาสได้แชมป์มากขึ้น
If there's one team that you guys want to face, you can 100% beat no matter what. You see them, you're gonna crush them like bugs. There's nothing they can do against you. Which team is that?
ผมว่าน่าเป็นทุกทีมที่ไม่ใช่ไทยกับบราซิลผมก็ทีมจากปากีสถาน
Okay, what about players, right? Which player, and I need you to name names, right? Give me one name. Which player you think is the worst player in the tournament? We gotta name names. It's getting hot. We need to name some names.
ปีเตอร์จากทีมฟอลคอนนะเพราะเริ่มกินเยอะกันแล้วเดี๋ยวเล่นไม่ไหวไปเตะเลย
Coming into this EWC, if there's one thing you want to say to everyone else.
ที่นี่ก็เป็นถิ่นทีมฟอลคอนครับก็มาหาเรื่องผมก็ระวังโดนคนดูอันนี้นะครับก็รอดูในเกมอยู่ครับ
This one, final one. Do you really think Brazil can win?
ก็ผมคิดว่าไม่ได้มีผลอะไรครับเพราะว่าแชมป์มันก็เปลี่ยนแปลงกันได้ตลอดครับมีให้แก้มืออีกหลายรายการครับก็ไม่มีผลอะไรมากครับเพราะกฎใหม่ใครก็แชมป์ไม่ได้
Thank you very much, Limit and On Fire. And that wraps up our hot takes for EWC Free Fire 2025. We'll see you in the next one.
I see them breathing a little bit of fire there.
I hate how they talked about Hot Shot like that. Come on, they were grief. They were grief from top 12, man. It wasn't their fault. They played well.
There's one thing for sure, though. I mean, even from beginning up until the end, when they talk about the rules, they're still worried, despite of being the champion. So I guess that's what makes this new rule gets the game excited.
Well, and I do agree with them. I actually think that this type of format of the championship, I mean, anyone can be the winner. So I kind of respect, and I like that they mention about Brazilian teams. But, well, we need to see what will happen today.
All right, thank you so much, panelists. It looks like we're almost ready to jump into game number 3. So, going to be sending it over to our wonderful casters on the stage, AJ and Husky. Take it away.
Thank you very much, Danny. Survivors, are you all ready? You're back with your boys, Husky and Mustachio. This is the head-to-head, and it looks like these teams just can't wait to go up against each other. We've got Lost, we've got Falcons. Falcons obviously dominating game 1, but these Brazilians aren't too far away from them. They dominated the knockout stage. Both these teams scoring big numbers, and they're here to rock it once again.
Absolutely, and the rivalry between Brazil and Thailand continues, right? We also have Fluxo against Buriram United Esports. The rivalry goes back seasons and years on the world stage. BRU has beaten Fluxo. Fluxo has beaten BRU, but I am always focused on the captains, Pops and Jonah, the minds, the brains, the strategists behind the teams, and they always pull off something miraculous and amazing, but so far, they haven't found success.
Both teams 2-time world champs, but here at Point Rush, they are rushing to find themselves as well as some sort of form out there because they are getting trashed, right? First 2 games, both squads getting kicked out very early on. And of course, we've got Movistar R7 looking for the top, hunting down the Dragons as well as teams like Fluxo. But you know what? We got to throw it back to the casters. You guys enjoy the games. Husky and I will be back with you guys a little bit later.
Thanks very much, Husky and AJ. We will definitely be enjoying this one. We saw R7 playing the Hunter. My question is, are teams going to rally back and hunt them back in return? You can't just sit down and take it. You got to rise up. You got to stand up for yourselves.
Definitely. We had a very good run here for Evol's Divine as well for the second game. But sadly, no cigar for the Booyah, despite having the most point in the game. Coming into game number 3 or match number 3, Kalahari will be the place. And this is where a lot of Indonesian teams are strong at. Some of the contenders would be RRQ and EVOS as well. And as for Team Falcons, currently they are looking strong here with 28 points in the Point Rush stage, looking to defend their title in EWC 2025. So flight path was from Shrines up until Mammoth. And who is taking Refinery? Yes, as usual, we're gonna see RRQ right in the smack center of Kalahari. Buriram will be on Stone Ridge. Nearby is actually Fluxo dropping around the area of the sub. Command post will be dominated by Dragon. Santa Catarina for Memory EVOS again on confinement. It looks like there's no fighting over spots right here, but RRQ might oversee the area of foundation that is currently being set as home ground for EGAL. Shots fired by Abai towards Terna. I believe Terna is now behind cover as the shot stopped. And meanwhile, in Santa Catarina, Core Memory XKUG Thailand team. This is the team that managed to rake in the Booyah for game number 2 in Purgatory. So in Kalahari, will they be able to be the first team to repeat back-to-back Booyah? Or will we be seeing again another different team taking up that title?
Okay, interesting here as well. I mean, Buriram United as well as Fluxo were side by side. I was keeping an eye out onto RRQ. I mean, they have been slowly making their way to Foundation and chasing out AGAL, who clearly want nothing of that at all. Some chip damage onto Saifa and Turna as well, but no answers quite yet. Chinoy does put in a bit more pressure, but it doesn't really deter Dutz, but it does put him away. And my question for RRQ is, you send on players one by one here. Mal would be that first point of contact, just rushing up forward. Could be able to go for this isolated 1v1 against Sypha, but I think Sypha is aware that he's close, and Mal in a very dangerous position. He's all alone here with the majority of AGL members there. Puts a lot of damage in as well. Gonna break that drone away from them. And they're not shy to really, I think, show their presence around the area, just to keep RRQ kind of wondering, okay, if someone is here, the crossfires are kind of lethal. Is it worth it for us to actually full send commit onto this team?
Yeah, and I'm not so sure will it be good or not, as R7 is making their way to the war grounds between RRQ and AGAL. Spotting members from Rainbow 7, RRQ instantly fall back towards Foundation, leaving AGAL in the mercy of the Latam team. But sadly, Games King is now not in the game, as he has been eliminated, and as one member from Team R7, Hux was down, but he was up back again. Nice revenge by Dea, taking down Dew. Sypha tries to take revenge for Dew, but it looks like it's going to be Terna up on the spotlight, taking down Hux. But Sypha on the back goes down. Dea as well. Terna is now showing his capabilities in the game, taking down two members of Rainbow 7. And right now, R7 is left with only one.
The hunters become hunted. At this point, you really got to rally back, and that's exactly what happened at DR Dragons. They find themselves in a pickle here as Falcons look to aggress. They have put down, Peanut has already been put down, but the rest of DRG still very much in trouble as CMOX falls. They do answer back here, but RQ is close. They find one member. They knock down Yasir as well for limit in that game. Not a problem to bring him back alive as well. RQ may have overaggressed here, but no, they are doing this execution to perfection, completely overrunning and overcoming all of the members of Falcons, leaving Limit all on its lonesome away. And RQ, they are looking to chase. Limit has a lot of space between him and the team, but he has to make sure that he survives. And he's in a very dangerous predicament. There are teams close by who are really eager to be able to find him and get that fresh point in the back. But now it might be Divide. They're gonna rush onto him. He's inside of the building all alone. It's a meat grinder of death for him. And the Falcons just get destroyed.
Limit was just a tad bit too late to use the mini jump pad that was set up by his previous teammate to escape. RRQ, nice rotation from Foundation. They return back on towards Refinery, sees the Falcon versus Dragons fight, and Falcons, despite almost eliminating Dragons, they were then decimated by the third party set by RRQ. And with that said, Falcons has to stay on 12th place right here as they have been eliminated by Team RRQ. Meanwhile, on Shrine, Indonesia versus Indonesia, Vitality versus EVOS Divine, and Dix was shot. Rasha a little bit slow on taking that final kill. Koja, nice glue wall set up, avoiding Ray from pushing over. Stepping out from the red zone of Skylar. Koja with a VSK in hand has to forfeit his match towards Ray. Nice execution. Now Vitality, Azrael and Kyung left. Azrael now is being settled by Kochil and Emga. It's going to be 2v1. Azrael now turns red. We are left with only Kyung. Will Kyung be able to save Vitality? All he needs to do is find space, but now Kochil goes in. Blue wall is up for Vitality. Kyung needs to escape, running towards the back. Quite low, but apparently looks like Kyung managed to buy time for the other members of Vitality to come back in. Kyung goes down. More points towards EVOS Divine.
EVOS are just so aggressive. This is the EVOS Divine that we saw on day one. Very aggressive, quick to this fight, and so eager to go for these, for these aggressive style plays. They are just, I would say, a lot of respect put in here. The same could be said about R7 toward the member of AGL, sending two players straight to make sure that deal will be secured. And R7, they've been moving aggressively around the map, finding these very aggressive pickoffs, and I think has been giving them dividends in terms of eliminations, because right now I think they have 3 points.
EGAL, I don't think Kalahari is a very lucky map for them. After their interaction with Rainbow 7 earlier in Oldhampton, they met again in the sub. And right now, AGAL is under fire by Pain Gaming. So they were under fire by RRQ as well for a short period of time. There you go, Terna and Cypher were taken down. It's left with Chino and Dew. However, they are quite far away towards the northern side of the map near Oldhampton. So Pain secures the kill number 5. And for the other members of AGAL, I believe Pain Gaming could not get to them. So Dio and Chinook is safe for the current time being. They need to find time and space and also coins to get back Terna and Cypher. And Pain Gaming, one of the contenders that is going strong here in EWC 2025, is looking very great in game number 3. And we are now looking Buriram being Spider-Man, grappling on towards Refinery.
RQ has been hanging around toward Foundation for quite some time as well. Saw a bit of escape for Core Memory. I'm curious to see what's going on there.
Maybe that's the zone.
Might be. There we go. Core Memory on the screen already. RQ is close by. But at the same time, we got Evo's also just rushing into the area close by, just still chasing out the members of AGL here. AGL, you think that you're out of the blue? No, you're not. You're in trouble. Aim got falls, but they immediately trade outs from their teammates is incredible. How quickly this team can execute onto you. You blink and you're dead. Cypher down, Noi as well. And AGAL, what are you gonna do here? You bring back a member, you're down again. Hasn't been able to find the best situation to recover every time this happens. Yep, there we go. There's Terna. Ray finds him quickly.
So
and
left.
yep, only Dew left all alone. And I think it's up to him to bring back his team into the game.
For those who might not know, Dew is nearby shrines on the northern side of Kalahari. But we're looking at Foundation. It's Core Memory and RRQ. Yep, Dew all alone and far. However, his pathing will meet together with Dix. They are in the same place.
Oh no, Dew.
Yeah, shots fired towards Dew. Dix. It's not bothered by Dew, thinking that maybe Dew is not alone. And Dix revives Goja, but oh, it's Raja! Raja is the person that has found you. So EGAL, sadly, Dew tried his best. The box of honor has been placed shut permanently in shrine for Kalahari.
I have to say that Evos have been really persistent if they are chasing. I think this fight, this chase has been going for quite some time now, and Lost looking to completely overwhelm Vitality. Vitality was the team that was aggressive here, but Lost, you have to really give it to them. They are a team that knows how exactly to deal with these executions, deal with these aggressions. They welcome it with open arms. As RQ trying to find a different way forward here, Pain wants to bring Pain onto them as well, but none of the damage actually clipping onto the members of RQ. So they're just chilling for the time being here. The only thing separating these two is that building. As Core Memory looks to address, R7 moves away. Dragon wants to move into this fight as well. There's so many things happening all around the map. But in this situation, Core Memory giving a little space away. But over onto this side, it's a bit of a stalemate.
4 teams are in the same area. Foundation are here. Pain has to fall back as they lost Gus and No Doubt. Peter and Motovia up to go for the long-range fights. They have a mini jump pad steadily behind this electrical tower. Dragons, all 4 still standing. R7 and Core Memory had their brawl just a little bit, and as said by Tash, there is no decisive winner between R7 and Core Memory, still on the stalemate. Meanwhile, Lost is actually pushing Vitality away. Another stalemate as well had happened, but now in Foundation, right around the area, we got RRQ, we got Vitality, we got Dragons, we got Pain, we got Core Memory, KOG, and across the river we have EVOS.
Fluxo
so
here too.
Very concentrated as well. Yeah, Fluxo as well is slowly making their way in the same vicinity. Pain Gaming managed to get Noda and Gus back. Remind spotted M7, and that goes down. The sniper for Fluxo.
The DRG, they're rallying back. not the best or best outcome for them in the previous map, but this time they've decided to be a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more proactive when it comes to rotating around that circle as well. They put their hand in the cookie jar, became that third party, got some eliminations out of it, then they have gotten 4 eliminations up until now as well. Fluxo currently on the back foot here, 2-2 formation I believe for them, whereas another 3-1 formation, excuse me, as they try to figure out a way to get into this circle, try to find out an opening, try to find out which team is a bit more weak when it comes to execution, so they're able to overwhelm. But the circle is shifting, time not on many of these teams' sides, especially EVOS, who are a little bit more late to this rotation, could potentially try and find pain as they desperately find their way into Foundation.
It's gonna be chaos here, Tash, as we are still left with 10 teams. Quite a small safe zone right here.
There we
Noda
go.
is yet again went to the CCTV area as he has been taken down by Ray. Peter will join Noda as well. So now Pain Gaming, I believe, is left with only one remaining member. Players inside Foundation, they are right now currently quite quiet. And for Team Lost, they are slowly making their way towards the mid side of the map, I mean the new zone. And Pain Gaming, the last remaining member was found, so Pain Gaming has been eliminated on time's place. So Dragon and Fluxo is still at it. But at the same time, you can see that Cyber and Core Memory still looking at each other, still being careful not to, you know, let anyone in to both particular places. And at the same time, you can see on the minimap, EVOS is making their way towards Fluxo and Dragon. But however, the bad side of things is now on the side of Fluxo as they are being pinned by both the Dragons and also the Tigers. Bob goes down, puts it, and is the only one left. Bob did not be safe. Yasser, despite being taken down, Seafox is going for the push, and Seafox goes down together with Simmons. Things are not looking good for Dragons. They wanted to go for the attack, but it looks like they are being attacked in the end. You and Butsi, stay quiet. But Seafox could not be safe at all because he is in a very hard area for Yasser and Remind to go. So it looks like Dragons is retreating back as the Tigers pushing forward. Fluxo remaining in the same area, still yet to be found by EVOS, and at the same time, Lost jumping into Foundation, being caught off guard by Vitality.
I have to say this is all very, very aggressive and very desperate for some of these teams as well. Just landing, finding any form of space out there in the open. There's not a lot of cover. If you think about it, every single cover and corner has already been occupied, and it is just nasty out here. As Nando 9 falls, Cougar to get that 1 point, and it's great for him. Lost eliminated at 8, and this is very, very rare. DRG had an upper hand, and now they are the ones in trouble. They're all around the space, but EVOS, they're on fire, and they thrive on this chaos. EVOS rush up forward. Ray, as the highest amount of damage dealer, the tip of the spear for this team, is doing a great job to just start these fights as well. But EVOS finds Vitality, eliminates them decisively, with things blowing to smithereens quickly, and 7th place for this team. But EVOS not done quite yet. They're rushing forward here, moving in tandem with the zone. Whoever that moves, they're in trouble, but somehow DRG has managed to evade them, and the same could be said about RRQ.
18 elimination points for EVOS currently. You can see that they are currently holding 32 points in our point on stage just from the eliminations and their previous games alone. So EVOS really wants that 20 elimination kills in this match. Ray goes for the elevated area. Buriram, finally we see Buriram trying to do something in the map. RRQ in cover. Buriram in the grace and mercy of Core Memory and a member from 3 Tigers. Yasser is trying to fall back. EVOS is being trapped by RRQ, but RRQ looks like they are stuck inside their own cabin. They can't go out. Grenades, if grenades were to enter in the cabins of Team RRQ, we could see a wipeout. You look, Russia has to opt to go for the ledges in order to get RRQ, but sadly, EVOS goes down. RRQ managed to finish them off. Team goes to Dragons for the other team. Now we are left with RRQ, Buriram, Core Memory, and R7.
I have to say that was a very aggressive approach here by EVOS, perhaps an overheat. They were out there in the open, they could not move and reposition themselves, but BRU, they show their fangs here quite late, but definitely here, 4 eliminations already. Wasana looking to start something, anything, moving together as a team, but they are currently in the middle of the pack here, sandwiched. Have to really be careful of where exactly they decide to peek out here. But They are not going to stop aggressing here as core memory from the top side sets big brain over to this team. Jumping down, a triple kill to his name. Core memory already with a 5. Breaking down those blue walls here, trying to find the other members of Gurram Unit who are stuck inside of that compound. Not going to be the easiest in terms of positioning as well. Have to be careful, but RQ at the bottom side with R7 as well, who are very, very opportunistic. So for now, a stalemate to cool things off.
Okay, quite enough for a while, but now R7 said, no, quiet, please. We want to play. They took down dudes. It's only 18 years left. Newest member from RRQ, and he goes down swinging as well. So RRQ on 4th place. We still yet to see Buriram shine. They were quite quiet here in Kalahari. There was not much interaction between BRU and the other teams. So coming into these last few moments, this is where BRU usually shine. So core memory on the sideline, only separated with one wall. R7 actually have good point of view towards both teams actually, but Buriram tries to go towards the left side of Rainbow 7, denied by a glue melter. However, Joanna, captain for the Buriram, will try to scout a little bit towards the front to see what's happening. And Rainbow 7 right now, it has to get busy trying to take team core memory that is coming from the right side. So in a sense, Rainbow 7 is technically pinned, but no! Buriram caught Cougar and Dawn. Shots have been fired towards core memory. They have to sit quiet. They have to rest and revive and reset.
And this is a very, very dangerous zone as well, because out the top of the side of the building there is out there in the open. You throw a nade and the whole team just explodes to smithereens here. Buriram United on the back foot. The low ground is what they're going to be playing for, but they're trying to deny any angles that R7 can abuse. Everyone lying in wait to see who exactly will be popping their heads out first. A bit of chip damage all around here for every one of these teams here. But Buriram United possibly have gotten a bit too aggressive. Get high, eats a bit of damage here, but Buriram United managed to climb up onto this terrain and to the building as well. R7 tries to aggress, cannot move, cannot see, because they also have to worry about core memory, who are currently having their eyes onto them as well. Core memory denying the space away from R7, pushing down those blue walls, denying them the push. For our Joker, R7 finds 2 members already. Wasana, Dawn, knocked down already. Pain for above. Hacks will fall as well. But everyone, it's a free-for-all. No clue where to go, how to play. But here is Buriram United trying their best to break these blue walls. Cannot move. It's just a matter of who can survive for the long time longer, because every single player has been separated by just these blue walls. These walls as well. Everyone jumping forward. Here's Games King trying to see whether I can see ahead. Finds nothing at all. It is cacophony. No one is dying. What is happening there? Jump ball, sense as well. Jonah competes at the least as well. The time turner denies them a bit more space, but Cougar and the rest of the team are already out here. Core memory out. Buriram United lying in wait. By the end of the day here, it's Bombistar R7 to be able to get this booyah. What the heck is happening?
Everybody was putting down blue walls, not to protect themselves, but to deny entry towards this ever-shrinking zone. They tried to zone out the enemy teams, enemy players away from coming inside. From in my point of view, I thought that maybe they are setting up for a medkit fight. But the setup by movie star R7 was spot on. They blocked BRU, they blocked Buriram from pushing inside. And at the same time, Buriram was actually doing the same thing, blocking core memory from entering the mid zone. And due to the fact that Rainbow 7 had a clearer view of things besides than Buriram and even core memory, they have the upper hand. They blocked both of those teams. Buriram said, I don't care, let's just rush in. They went in for core memory. R7 is just looking at everything. They have one member position to try to play the man kick, while all the others are trying to eye on Buriram and also core memory. And in the end, it is R7 that came on top.
Yeah, that's right. But for now, we have another 3 more maps to go. And it's getting exciting, so do not go anywhere. We're going for a quick break.
This land is calling.
Breaking news.
Hola gente, soy Hax y le voy a preguntar al Joker, ¿cuál es tu arma favorita?
¿Mi arma favorita?
Sí.
La espada bulla.
Tape. Pégate derecha. Tengo que curarme. ¿Curativo alguno tiene para mí? No. Dale, me curo nomás.
Están subiendo acá. ¿Y ahora Oscar?
Cuidado, no tengo super,
Joker, te paso super.
Dale, pásame super.
Sponsor.
Ok, Oscar. Subimos. A derecha. 100, bajé. Puse 07.
Para.
¿Quién es solo?
Ahora tienen. 100.
Tíralo.
Dale, cúrate.
Tira atrás.
Buena.
Well, almost looked like Boriram was going to grab that booyah there, but R7 had other plans. And that was such a crazy booyah, guys. We had a maze of glue walls, 3 teams vying for that booyah. But at the end of the day, R7, they remained calm, composed, brought it all the way back in, and they've now secured themselves a massive chunk of points. Welcome back to the panel, everybody. We're going to break down our game for Kalahari because we have passed the halfway mark, gentlemen.
Definitely. I mean, a lot of excitement has been brought, not only from that final circle, but also before that happened. There's a lot of early engagement, a lot of disappointing endings, especially when you are on a crosshair of a sniper and you're solo.
I mean, it's true, but we are seeing a couple of patterns being very evident in this game. Number one, RRQ, they're definitely out for the Falcons. Like, it's clear that they're making early rotations to intercept them during these fights, but it may be costing them a couple more points. This time around, at least they're walking away with at least 10 eliminations, 17 points, while EVOS Esports, I think, are the big winners. Rasha was having one hot game. He's the kid, man.
Yeah, definitely. The wonder kid, the sniper of EVOS Esports, really has bringing it on. 6 points in terms of placement, but in terms of elimination, it was 18. So that is why, despite of R7, Movistar R7 grabbing that booyah, they're very close right now in the match result.
Look, we're seeing some teams really focus on those placement points, right? But sometimes you also got to grab those eliminations. So moving forward, are we going to be sticking to one particular play style, or do you kind of feel like it's just a case-by-case basis? Because we're so used to seeing tournaments where teams, once there's a bit of a meta established, it kind of carries through to the rest of the maps played throughout the day. But it almost feels like every map played today, it's like someone decides to just change the recipe for the cookbook, and we don't know what's going on.
Well, I guess it's good. I guess it's good that we're seeing a little bit of a shuffle in terms of game style. Some will try to make their way as, I would say, the silent booyah takers, similar to what we've seen Dragon Esport has done. So that's how they survive, and that is important as well when it comes to Champion Rush. But with this disruption, I guess this is important as well to be countered towards tomorrow, because it's a good thing that it's showing right now. Otherwise, we might, or they might be surprised.
I think at the very least, we should be expecting these next 3 maps, because we saw during the knockout stages that once we get to the latter half of the map rotation, a lot of teams start really changing up their style. I think, as you've mentioned, like changing the secret sauce just a little bit every single time is really throwing a lot of teams and a lot of players off guard as well, right? Because you don't know who's going to intercept you next. And I think that at least for R7, they started off, hey, we're going to be aggressive, we're going to do what we do. But now, especially for Kalahari, it's interesting to see them not be as aggressive, take a really passive approach from mid to late, which begs the question, what were they saying during those voice comms?
I think there's a lot of questions we could probably ask the players if we were given the chance, but unfortunately that's just, we don't have those privileges, okay? We're just like you guys at home. But Neptune, I want you to sort of look through the numbers at the moment, okay? I think we are getting a bit of an established leaderboard now, right? The results for these next upcoming matches, for some teams will still be very big, but for others, it's not so much. Just based off of the numbers, who is falling behind in the competition?
Well, at this point, I mean, Fluxo, I'm sorry, because of several instances that they have been taken out early. Imagine there's no point, only little points from both of the first 2 maps, as well as in that Kalahari map. So it's very difficult to climb up from that. But again, there's not so much of risk because we're only in Point Rush.
Exactly. Now, just a quick reminder to all of our folks at home, right? It's not just Free Fire happening here at EWC 25. We do have other titles going on at the exact same time. And today, it was the grand finals for the Mobile Legends Bang Bang Women's Division. And it was Vitality who ended up being crowned champions this year, beating out Gaming Gladiators in a crazy grand finals matchup. And of course, Vitality, because they won the title, they earned a huge bundle of points for the team, enough to actually push them to the top of the club championship leaderboard, and thus putting some pressure on the Free Fire team to perform as well and to keep them at the top of the leaderboard. But as you can see here, we have another key entered into the podium. So we have another champion here crowned at EWC 25. But look at the girls though. They are so happy, so proud of themselves. And it's because they deserved it. Everything is earned, nothing is given.
Really happy for this team as well, because again they were very hungry to actually win this tournament. So many times they got second place. So now that they're back on top, really happy for Team Vitality.
So congratulations to the girls as they are going to bathe in their glory. And for the next year, of course, they have gloating rights to say, we're the best team in the entire world, because I do think that is a title these girls have earned. So congratulations again to Team Vitality's Women's Mobile Legends Bang Bang team. You guys 100% deserved your victory. Now, back to Free Fire, because we are only halfway through our competition here at Point Rush. We've still got 3 more games to go. We've just finished up Kalahari. Next up is Alpine. What are we expecting from Alpine, folks?
I'm kind of scared because as we are talking about, Fluxo is not doing good, and I know that they have like a fight against the landing spot that they usually like to use during the tournaments, and and I don't know if they can be able to get better, during the rest of the day. So I think it's gonna be hard for them to, grow and try to be back in the tops of the ranking. I actually don't know what's going on, but Brazilian teams as well in the last match, they just didn't perform.
I think Fluxo need to stand their ground. I think teams are giving more respect to BRU than they are to Fluxo. If Fluxo can predetermine themselves, hey, this is our drop spot, do not disrespect us again, I think they'll start doing well.
I think it's because in Brazil, they usually don't try to get Fluxo landing spots, so maybe they are just not prepared.
Well, we're going to have to see if Fluxo can pick themselves up, because time, unfortunately, is running out with only 3 more games to go. But speaking of, we're ready to fly into Alpine. So throwing it over to our wonderful casters, Tashbane and Admats. Take it away.
In my opinion, it's Fluxo's gameplay that needs to change. I think they really need to adapt towards the international style of gameplay. I think they were so used towards the gameplay that have been played in Brazil. That's why we can see maybe a downfall for Fluxo. So ladies and gentlemen, a little bit update on the roster for Team Lost. They subbed out Nando, taking an empty Sexy. Meanwhile for Falcons, they say, okay, Pina, it's enough. You had your time. On Fire is back in.
Yeah. Super excited to see how exactly this will change the trajectory of this game. I mean, Lost, they were very, very explosive throughout this entirety of this week. We saw, I think, some glimpses of it, if you ask me, in a few of these games. But I feel like a lot of teams are already very much ready for it, to counter their style of play, to counter this aggression. And I think that this type of styles of play is just something that a lot of teams were, I think, not only are they waiting for it, but they are also welcoming for it as well, because a lot of teams have already some protocols in how exactly to stop these rushes for, especially in towards buildings and areas as well. Now, Movistar, R7 are the teams to watch out for, especially after that win earlier, because honestly, it was so phenomenal how they were able to take that game away.
It looks like there's a lot of noise here from team, I believe that's Dragons and also Lost. We were talking about Lost, and Lost is fighting, and they took down Dragons, I believe. Will they, can we see any Dragons logo? No, they are all eliminated. Base camp cleared by Lost. A very early exit by the MENA teams. We do not even enter the map yet.
I mean,
we did not even enter the map yet, and Dragons is gone.
I mean, what's really exciting about Lost is the fact that, you know, you change their roster and suddenly the speed changes, the aggression changes as well. And I feel like Dragons have been hunted relentlessly by so many teams today. By R7, by Lost as well. It's just so unfortunate for them because they don't seem to have any protocols to stop this style of aggressive play. Now RQ, they're sneaky as heck. Abai finds a big one onto Deya and quickly Jutz rushes away, but he cannot run because the other members of R7 were very much ready to hunt for him as well. So 1-for-1 here for RQ, understanding this predicament, says, okay, it's okay, we already got what we wanted, back off.
Yeah, Dudes attempted to try to at least get one from Team Rainbow Seven with the pulse gun that he has, but knowing pulse gun not so marvelous in terms of output damage, so he had to fall back. He opened up the Chronosphere, but sadly Team Rainbow 7 just push on because there's nothing blocking the Chronosphere from entering by the enemy team. Meanwhile, Fluxo, we were commenting that they should improve their game. However, before that, let's see the replay between Dragons and Lost in base camp. One-sided matchup. Dragons could not even match with Team Lost on that first bout in Alpine. So they just got decimated by the Brazilian team. Back towards AGANL. Fluxo, AGAL managed to get a very advantageous position here in Stadium. Fluxo being smart here, trying to scatter their members throughout Stadium, trying not to gather all of that in one spot. That is to avoid a whole team massacre that can be done by AGAL. And you, as the sniper himself, this elevation is pretty good for him to catch any Fluxo members. But Fluxo does not care. They come in, jump towards Gio. Gio goes down despite getting boots in to turn red. So Gio really needs to find that space and time to get back Butsin, but sadly Butsin cannot be saved. Gio managed to get that point for AGAL. On the other side, Bobs and Chinoy is trying to maybe scuffle, but at the same time Chinoy is looking at his back as Gio is on top of that roof. Chinoy got a little bit of chip damage to himself. There you go. Bob's coming in, rush towards Chinoy. He was distracted, and yep, Bob says that, oh, you look behind? It's okay, I come from the front.
Great reposition from Bobs as well. Fluxo, great recovery. I mean, you lose your member fairly early. I mean, a lot of teams decide, okay, let's just back off, or maybe try to find a different point of entry. But Fluxo, I have to say, they are the type of team that says, okay, we're down and out. That's fine. Just rush forward, try to catch players off guard. And that's exactly what happened here. We're seeing a lot of fights happening, and Lost this time around with the presence of MT Sexy into this game has really changed their dynamic, changed the momentum, changed their style of play. And I think it looks really good, especially
nice
for the second half of the day here with the Rigby. A great pickup onto Abai, and this should slow RQ down. This is massive, phenomenal as well. 18 years all alone as well, and I can tell that for Lost, they have already identified where the positionings of where the players of RQ are, and they're quick to swarm.
With the presence of MT Sexy, we can see a different form of Lost. And that was a very nasty one-tap by Rigby, former member of MIBR, currently serving for Lost. On another side of the map, near Snowfall, we see the scuffle between Rainbow 7 and Buriram. This is something that you usually would see at Snowfall, as both Rainbow 7 and Buriram made their particular place as their drop spot. Wasana pushes forward with Wasana style by Get High, gets that point kill using the grenade. Joanna waiting in front, but Joanna goes down. Get High, the support that he is providing the through wall to survive and try to get back Joanna. Della pushes but fails. Now Joker is falling back. Finally, Buriram won at least a single match against Rainbow 7 in a clear 1v1 brawl, and Joker has to fall back, has to reset, has to be careful as well, because the route that he's treading right now is quite dangerous, because he is moving towards the middle of the zone.
Now silence. We saw a lot of fights happening earlier, especially toward Fusion, where we saw, I think, a big scuffle between Falcons as well as Vitality as well previously. I think Falcons did bring in some revives as well for their teammates. So if anything, it wasn't really a full-on fight, but it was quite nasty here. But RFQ, they're still not out of the red. They're still in trouble. Mal quickly brought back into the game, but not before he gives that one precious point onto Lost as well, who are still rampaging throughout the entire Alpine. That nade, disgusting shot onto 18 gear. He cannot do anything. This guy is just walking into big areas and kills and just completely decimating this entire team here. Abai tries to equalize. He's gotten one pick off already. Quick to reposition himself forward here. Actually reaches into the chrono. Abai cannot fight back because Lost were ready to just receive RRQ here. Abai as well to fall, and his teammates cannot answer back. And RRQ here, it goes from bad to worse. At least for the time being, they do have one member still left alive. They can try to recover and go back into this game, but the amount of points they have already donated to Lost is just insane.
The smart decision to use the treatment gun on towards falling Rigby was a nice delay time for the other members of Team Lost to execute Abai. Abai thinking that, okay, I might get this point, but no, he's back alive and well. And in the end, RRQ was reversed. And finally, and luckily, RRQ still have one remaining member managed to actually find space to go away, so RRQ still alive. Meanwhile, Falcon and Vitality is at it. Vitality really needs to secure points for their club points here in EWC. Manages to take down Peter. Very nice pickup by the Indonesian team. They might want to go and chase Kiroro, but judging how they're moving right now, I believe that is enough. Kiroro on fire managed to actually just go away from Vitality, and meanwhile Vitality might just pick up all the bounty that they had from their fallen Falcons.
You know, this fight from both Vitality and Falcons have been going on for quite some time. It was almost toward the beginning of the game where Falcons just almost got rolled over here. They rallied back, brought their teammates back into the team, went back into this fight again, and now RFQ here looking for a different fight onto AGL here. One member of AGL falls, but they are quickly traded out. Turna falls, quick to get picked up as well. Binoculars will be used. But for the other members of the team here rushing away, do not want to continue this long fight as well. As RRQ here, you start with one kill and then start there realizing this is not going to work out because we've given so much points already to Lost. We cannot do the same to AGL as well.
Yeah, Abai braved himself to go into the middle part of Rai, quite an open area just to try and get that big airdrop. As he was doing so, comes by AGAL. The other members of RRQ could not get that time to provide reinforcement towards Abai. That's why Abai has to fight that 1v4 match, but sadly he could only manage to take down one, and that is not even a takedown elimination. It's just a knockdown, and Abai again for the second time in this game has to be revived back. Meanwhile, on Rivermouth, R7 making their way to another vicinity, another compound, avoiding shots from Kochil, and Kochil is still on that pulse gun. I'm not so sure whether when will he change here. Maybe he's just a player that is comfortable with that gun, because I've known a few players that is very strong with the pulse gun, despite being one of the weakest gun to be used. And yeah, I'm not so sure whether or not Coach will change that weapon. There you go, the circle update is encompassing the area between Rivermouth and Rai. Quite an open area, a few compounds here and there. What I can say this is that if you are one of the few first teams within the new zone, you will have your place.
EVOS here not as loud as they were in the previous maps. Looking for a different approach here. We saw this sort of approach in the first day here, but R7 looking to reposition themselves, going straight to a core memory instead. Core memory has positioned themselves on the top side of this building here, but as they rotated, actually a member of EVOS did manage to find one as well. Hux falls as well, and now for core memory, they're happy to turn this into a meat grinder, and R7 get overwhelmed. Gameskins falls, Joker as well, and R7, they're running out of members here. Eliminated, cannot hold on, and AGL wondering and seeing whether or not they should join in the fun.
So R7 with a misstep jumped in towards the mouth of Team Core Memories. So R7 11th place, and Buriram is interacting with Lost. This is Thailand versus Brazil. Once grades of Buriram right now not looking very good here within the knockout stage as well as point run stage. Buriram, their only good run was in the previous game. And right now, fighting against Lost, they are trying their best. Asana on the ground, but General paid the price as well. Joanna doing some nice footwork. And there you go, Buriram showing what they got. Eliminating Lost on 10th. And finally, we are seeing the awakening powers of the Thailand representatives.
And this is a massive because BRU has been very, very quiet in the past few maps. Bar map number 1, where they were able to hold on to the compound very, very decisively. And now Fluxo, a bit more of a desperate situation, rushing forward, wanting this compound where RRQ is holding on to. But RRQ, they don't want to take this fight, deciding to move away, further away from them for these long-range fights as well. But for Fluxo, they're okay to go for this long-range fight. A lot of pressure put onto the members of RRQ here, but only thing they can manage to do is just some chip damage as well. RRQ, they're undeterred. They're saying, you know what, take that house, take that compound, but we are already closer to the zone, and most importantly, we're not interested in fighting you.
Yes, Fluxo this time around looks good. They are playing well with the timings of the zone. They are not late. They are legitly on time. In contrast, Pain Gaming is going for that risk, entering the zone a little bit late as AGAL is gatekeeping them. Same goes to Falcon, is now being gatekept by Evor's Divine. The returning champions is now sort of like having cold feet here, as they are not playing as they usually do. Limit is still yet to be revived back. It looks like Peter Kiroro and On Fire playing a safe gameplay right here, avoiding interactions between EVOS, avoiding all other enemy members by rotating, deterring towards the northern side of the zone. Meanwhile, RRQ has to hold off their position against Buriram. And Buriram, being on a higher angle elevation, is not worried by any shots coming by Team RRQ.
Falcons in a very desperate situation, but they do still manage to get themselves into the zone here. And Core Memory is still a top side of this compound, and EVOS tries to challenge. At the same time, Russia, great opening onto Pyong, finds him, knocks him down here, but Rum United also in trouble, getting completely overwhelmed here. RRQ, fairly quiet, fairly not able to go into the game early. This time around, completely just collapse onto Buram United, and just wipe them down. Buram United were not ready at all to receive this team. The way they aggress is just so phenomenal, and EVOS looking to do the same here. As Core Memory, their glue walls fall, not a lot of space to work with. The only thing they have right now is the movement inside of this shack, but Core Memory keeping them out, finds a way to go outside on a more even footing outside in the open right now. Ray falls, the first point of contact cannot hold on. Kochil and Ray knocked out already. Core Memory knew exactly what they were doing when they decided to aggress outside of the zone, and suddenly the other two members of the White Tigers running for their lives, finding a way to bring their teammates back into the game. But I don't think they can here, because Aim God as well will be found. Cougar does get knocked down here, but in this situation, what can you do? EVOS happy to let go of everything, cutting their losses and trying to bring themselves back into this game.
Luxor managed to eliminate Vitality. At the same time, we were watching Buriram being knocked out by RRQ. Falcon not looking so good. Peter is the only one on the ground, finally has been eliminated. RRQ have been mopped on 5th place. We are left with 4. This is 4 teams that is currently on the end side of the match. It's Core Memory, Fluxor, Falcons, as well as Evolve Divine. Core Memory playing wide right in the open, trying to execute on towards Team Falcon. Kugura in front, fighting some of his former teammates, and Falcon has been de-winged by Team Core Memory. Falcons on 4th place. Team goes to Evolve Divine. Now on 3rd. It's going to be Fluxor versus Core Memory. Both black and white teams are at it right now on Alpine. But looks like it might be a Fluxor win. And there you go. It is in. After so many struggles on so many maps, Fluxor gets a booyah in EWC 2025.
And this is phenomenal because Fluxor is one of the most decorated teams here. One of the favorites to make it to the top. They haven't been able to show their shine for this entirety of this week, and now they took their time
a bit on the back foot when it comes to rotations, when it comes to fights. But they knew when exactly to aggress. They did not want to have those early fights at all, and they waited for the last possible moments to bare their fangs. Fluxo, they bring their flag up and they stand tall.
Finally, they could see themselves on the big screen right here at Qiddiya Arena, Qiddiya Stadium here in Boulevard Rose City, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Everybody, a lot of spectators doubted Fluxo on how they had terrible games during the group stage. Quite a cold start as well today on the point rush stage. And in that match in Alpine, I could see that they finally managed to find that timing on towards the zones. Usually you will see Fluxo entering very bit late, but this time around they entered very nicely.
Anyways, we have Carol waiting in the wings with the player. Let's see what he has to say.
Amazing match that we just have watched, and so far it's everything perfect here. We are in the preparation for the grand final tomorrow, but still there's a lot more to come in the point rush stage. Right now I'm happy to be here with Joker, the player for Movie Star R7. Thank you so much for your time. I know things here are crazy, but I gotta say that you're having a beautiful performance here today, especially in match 3. You sacrificed so much so much glue walls during their fight, and a lot of pressure for sure. And I would like to know what was going on in your mind.
En el juego número 3 fue un momento de mucha presión, se estuvieron sacrificando muro tras muro tras muro, y quieren saber cómo estaba tu mente en ese momento, qué pensabas en ese momento de tensión.
Nada, en ese momento de tensión creo que estábamos todos comunicando lo más que podíamos en la partida sobre los recursos que teníamos, sobre lo que veíamos. Tratamos de imaginar qué iba a hacer cada equipo para ir rotando en base a eso, y nada, jugamos en eso, imaginando lo que iba a pasar en la partida.
In those tense moments, we were mostly communicating everything we got, the resources we had, what we know about the other teams, what other teams could be doing, what are we going to do, and we were just zoning into winning that game.
Amazing, amazing. Yeah, I love that answer for sure. And right now, one thing is true, that you guys are one of the top teams of our leaderboard. And for a long time, we haven't seen like a LATAM team doing that stuff, and you guys are doing amazing. And I would like to know, how does it feel to finally prove that you guys are capable to play against the best of the best?
En estos momentos ustedes son uno de los equipos que están en el tope del leaderboard, y ningún equipo sudamericano latino ha hecho esto anteriormente. Cuéntanos cómo se siente, qué significa para ti el poder al fin demostrar que ustedes pueden jugar en contra de los mejores del mundo.
Creo que nada, nos sentimos muy felices. También hasta el momento no ha acabado nada, toca seguir trabajando, y nada, venimos con la mentalidad de que podemos ser campeones, venimos en base a eso. En cualquier momento los que hemos jugado sabemos que tenemos el nivel en la región de poder salir campeones, y queremos eso, salir campeones.
We are very happy, but nothing has ended yet. We are still continuing the grind. We're still continuing with the mentality that we can win this. We know that we have a huge level in our region, and we are able to win this. So we are just continuing to zone in and go for everything.
What a confidence. I love that, Joker. Congratulations. You guys are doing amazing. Thanks so much for your time for the interview. I'm going to let you prepare for the next match. And right now, I'm talking to you. So we're going to go for a quick break, but I hope you stay with your eyes very open, because we're going to be right back.
Double kill. Triple kill. Unstoppable.
ก็จะปรับการเล่นให้เข้ากับทีมมากครับไม่ได้อยากเล่นให้ตัวเองโดดเด่นครับแค่ทีมได้แชมป์ก็ดีใจมากเลยก็ปีนี้เพิ่มผมมาในรับก็อยากได้แชมป์อีกรอบหนึ่งครับรักษาแชมป์
ตำแหน่งผมจะเป็นตำแหน่งสไนเปอร์ครับตำแหน่งที่โคบอยู่หลังที่สุดและก็เป็นตำแหน่งที่สำคัญที่สุดด้วย
This is amazing. You cannot catch the man. In fact, he just wiped out a whole squad alone.
เป็นแชมป์อีกรอบหนึ่งครับในวันใจของผมก็คือน่าจะการที่ยังไม่เคยได้แชมป์โลกครับแต่ก็เคยได้แชมป์ทุกอย่างมาแล้วเหลือแค่แชมป์โลกแชมป์เดียวครับที่ผมยังไม่เคยได้ก็เลยอยากได้แชมป์นี้มากๆครับผมแค่อยากจะทำให้แรปนี้เป็นแรปที่ดีที่สุดแล้วก็สร้างประวัติศาสตร์ของผมเพิ่มมาอีกก็คือแชมป์ผมจะทำให้ได้แชมป์อีกรอบ
Hey everyone, I'm Yunso, and I'm right here at the Boulevard, and where I am is the play park. Everything in here looks so futuristic. It looks brand new to me, and today I'm going to try out a new game, which I've never been to. So let's watch me play. While I'm playing, it's gonna look kind of funny, so please forgive me.
ระเบิดมือ
พวกเราอยู่ในสนามซ้อมนานเกินไปแล้ว
Volta ainda, MT, gosta de sentir matéria depois. Pode suporte do lado esquerdo, MT. Vem cá, vamos atirar a tropa. Tem que tirar o lado esquerdo. Pode tirar o lado esquerdo, tropa. Corte 2x1. Deixa ele pro lado direito, são mais nós, tá? No chão. Ei, vamos bater, joga no chão. Dois caras aí. Só quebra. Não tem gelo. Tô aqui. 50 nenhum, Gil. Muito meado. Sem outro, vai gostar aqui. Dá um solo aí, Butch. Eu tenho o QS ainda, Butch. Pode ir, irmão.
Aí, é só nós jogar, filho. Olha que nós volta pra... Bora.
Is the beast awakening? Fluxo secure their first booyah of the day on Alpine, and I know the wonderful Raja on the panel. She is so excited. But it's not just Raja. I think we've all been kind of wondering what has happened to Fluxo coming into Point Rush. They looked a little bit slow, and in their previous matches the past 3 days, they didn't look so great either. But Raja, break it down for us. What was it that Fluxo did in this game that actually brought them that victory?
Well, first of all, they are so back. I love to see them playing in that way, and I'm so happy for them. And I think what's just happening, it's because they are playing like a little bit slow, and maybe because of the landing spots. So if you could, watch again the last match, you can see that they just are like free to play. You know. There's any other teams with them, so maybe they can be like maybe they can do the right rotation, and they can be as strong as they normally are, so that's what we are waiting for them, and they need to keep the rhythm for the next match, so maybe they can grow inside of the ranking and try to catch the top 5, maybe, because they are in the bottom.
Definitely. I mean, Team Fluxo, they really need that breathing space. They really need that reset button. And I guess that is true. Like dropping without any contention at all, you were able to get all your loots and then fix all your rotation. So I guess that's what Fluxo is doing right now. And I guess other teams as well that would give them those points.
I think at least for this particular map, we're seeing that after looking at the scoreboard and see the total number of points that a majority of the page 1 teams had, I think that everybody is kind of, poured a little bit more gasoline into the engine. They really start to amp things up. They're really escalating things more often as we see the transitions happen. They're very aggressive with the way that they play. And more so, we're seeing that teams are able to recover just a little bit better. But that also improves the amount of elimination points in the economy itself, right? One person is able to escape, they bring back the whole team, rinse and repeat. And if that happens to 4 other teams, that's why we're seeing the top 2 having at least 20 points.
Yeah, I think Fluxo ended the round with 15 eliminations. And then you add the Booyah points on top of that, and then, I mean, they're feeling pretty dang good.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, 27 points coming from Fluxo, but there's one thing surprising, and they haven't slowed down. Core Memory XKOG. I mean, we saw them, yes, they were second place, but they also grabbed 12 points in elimination. So they're very, very close right now, and I guess they're still maintaining the top.
I think their secret to success really boils down to, can they make a hard prediction on that fourth ring? Every single time we've seen them make it into the top 2, top 3 is when they have a good rotation in and also get a little lucky on that 50-50 when it comes down to that fourth ring. From that point onwards, we see them really start to snowball out of control.
Now, we do have the overall rankings here, so we can really see who is snowballing out of control. And, well, it still seems we have the White Tigers leading the pack. So, I mean, it was a good round for EVOS as well in that previous round. It was just they kind of got unlucky with their placement in one of those last few circles because they didn't have any cover. They were basically banking on being able to take someone else's spot, and that kind of didn't happen. But for the rest of the rankings, I mean, nothing out of the ordinary, I suppose, aside from Fluxo starting to make that climb, especially after that Booyah.
Yeah, I mean, I would say for R7, they were in a good row right now, but the lead is coming away from them. And like 8 points in difference against a Core Memory XKOG. And then after that, RRQ as well is quite far. So I guess for the first two teams, they are in a safe spot right now unless Core Memory, or rather R7, will try what they did for the first round again.
I think it's working out well for them, right? You know, hot drop somebody if necessary and then look to make it into top 3 afterwards. Their aggressive playstyle and high elimination counts by the end of the game is really starting to, you know, pave the way, a strong foundation coming into our last 2 maps.
Now, it looks like we do have a very quick STC Club Championship update. Yunsol, what is new for the Club Championships?
It's Yunsol, and we are live at Amazon Esports Arena at EWC 25. In semi-finals, Team Spirit defeated P-Vision with 2-0, and the match between Team Falcons and the Tundra Esports also ended with the same result. The match for the third place also ended with a score 2-0, and the P-Vision team won the duel against Tundra team. And now, in the grand final, Team Spirit is fiercely battling Team Falcons. The hype is real, and Team Falcons fans are making Team Spirit's competition much hotter. Tonight, who will become the champion of Dota 2 at EWC 25? Let's find it out.
Thank you so much for the update, Yunsol, and Team Falcons fighting strong in Dota 2, it seems. And obviously, their Free Fire team's going to want to knock it up a notch as well because those points, they're all up for grabs.
It's just showing how close the club championships are really starting to amp up here. It's only week 2 of EWC, so it's pretty surprising that not any one of these teams have like really soared past each other just yet.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when we saw the Club Championship, the scores that they have, there's still a lot of ties in there, and there's a lot of potential to really overtake and grab that number 1.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge of the teams with us. It looks like we are ready to jump into our next matchup. But before that, though, we're going to head on over to our 2 favorite men, Husky and AJ. Take it away.
You're back at the Kitty Esports Arena with your boys Mustachio and Husky. Game 4 is done. 2 more matches to go. And my, oh my, Husky, I think the fans are getting heated up.
The fans definitely are. Of course, for those who don't know where we are right in deep in the Falcons' nest. So, of course, we have to address the current reigning world champions. Team Falcons, where you at? Hang on.
All right.
With the Falcons. Okay.
It looks like the Falcons are a tad bit low on energy. Maybe it's because it's Indonesia at the top. Indonesia, make some noise!
Yes.
Yeah, they've got some life in them.
Yeah, finally, the Indonesians are stepping it up. And we're seeing the Indonesian teams do that. RRQ, EVOS,
absolutely.
Vitality need to step up a little bit, but I know the Vitality fans are up there cheering every step of the way.
Yeah, but you know who's the noisiest ones of them all? It's always the Brazilians. Brazil, can we hear you? Make some noise! All right, we got Carol. We'll take that.
Yeah, we got Carol. Carol represents the entirety of Brazil. We got Raja on the panel as well. I mean, at the end of the day, at the EWC 25, nothing is granted. Everything is earned.
Well, 2 more matches. Fluxo just took the previous one. Let's see exactly who grabs it for the top spot here at Point Rush Casters. On to you.
as we're slowly edging the end of our point rush stage, the fight just gotten bigger and bigger. We had an incredible run by Fluxo back in Alpine. Now coming into Nextera, this is a map where we usually see the Thai teams take the Booyah title. However, for me, I still yet to see the emergence of Vitality and RRQ to come on top among all of these teams that is in the point rush stage.
I mean, firstly, for me, Vitality took a while to really heat up, even in this week. So I wouldn't be surprised if toward the end of the day is the moment where they really wake up, because there have been some very devastating moments that they were able to dish out toward the end of the day here. But anyways, point rush stage here, between EVOS, Esports, as well as Movistar R7 here, 63-54 in terms of pointers, and eliminations are so very close. But the ones on top, honestly, to me, EVOS Divine and Core Memory are some of the teams I'm looking out for right now. Only 1 point shy of each other. EVOS Divine as well as Core Memory has been really scary. Core Memory not the flashiest compared to EVOS Divine, but they sure know how to wrap up a game.
Alright, from Grave Labs up until between Twin Bridge and also Mortar Ruins. That was the flight path for Nextera. Looking on the overall map, nothing much can be said here, as most of the teams are far apart. Except for Lost and EVOS, they are sharing Zipway, and it looks like the sharing moment is going to be over soon, as shots fired by EVOS Divine towards Team Lost. There is one lone member from Team Falcons nearby, but that is just one single spy that is trying to get maybe some cheeky kills in this couple. So EVOS running into cover, Lost is still outside, Rasha deep inside Zipway. And it looks like Falcon has made their way as well. So 3 teams right now in Zipway. 4 upcoming, as Dragon is making their way to the same area. Cold Shield outside, almost be taken down, and Dragon's falling back after finding out, hey, with their shots inside here, not a safe place to be. So smart decision by Dragons. They could fall back, or they could just stay to try to go for a third party. And yep, it looks like they are slowly falling back, spotting Vitality in the process. Simon takes down Azrael, and that might be the first elimination. Nope, it looks like Azrael managed to find cover, but Remind is on the floor. It's Vitality that takes down a member from Team Dragons, and that is the early game of Nextera.
A lot of things going on here. Teams are just not relenting right now. A lot of pressure put in just for that one particular spot. I love the fact that Vitality did wake up. Vitality started to get a bit more active, moving around, joining in these fights to just slowly mount their comeback back into this game. I think throughout the entirety of the day, we haven't really seen Vitality be the hunters. We haven't seen Vitality make some noise, and I want to see this change, especially from players such as Koja and Dix, who are great at that first contact style play. In a lot of situations, Vitality have been the victims that get caught in the midst of rotations. But this time they said, nah, not this time. We're going to get a little bit more proactive and take up this fight. They did manage to get a peek up to one member of Falcons, but Falcons don't really want to play at all. And Vitality decides not to push the issue. It's still very, very early. They can still go hunting elsewhere.
Falling back to their previous compound, Vitality is going for the more safer route of gameplay. And they kept moving actually. I believe they are heading towards Plazaria, or is it Farmtopia? It's Farmtopia. So they're gonna try to maybe conquer Farmtopia, but at Farmtopia there's also Core Memories. Okay, making their way slowly. On their right side, there is Team Dragon. They are interacting with the MENA team yet again. Remind has come back. It's still the early stages of the game, so Remind could still find resources scattered around Nextera. And it looks like Simox is holding Team Vitality together with Chifox. Vitality is choosing to use the mini jump pad to fly over towards a longer range distance between them, and also Dragon, but sadly penalty box, and also his team member Remind managed to cut them off guard. Two members of Vitality is on the hands of Team Dragon Esports.
And these points are much needed from DRG right now. They are currently on that last spot with only 22 points. Could this be the mount for them right now as they overcome AGAL now with the 2 extra points, putting them 1 point ahead of DRG? I would love to see them just keep going in terms of aggression. They weren't very lucky when it comes to a lot of fights. They weren't very lucky when it comes to rotations. And most importantly, they were hunted throughout the entirety of today as well. I want to see a change in pace where DRG surprised all of us in the entirety of this week, because out of nowhere, they were able to overcome so many different teams.
Rainbow 7 playing the high elevated gameplay against Team EVOS. The only counter is easy. Be under them. That's all. But EVOS really wants to fight Rainbow 7. Taking a toll on towards 2 members of Team EVOS Divine. A misstep by them. They didn't time themselves well with Rainbow 7 looking at them down below. So it's only left with Ray and AimGuard. And R7 is still on top of that, I could say a train tracks. More like a highway for trains, I guess. So they're going to stay up there. Ray is pushing forward. AimGuard will stay in Rustown. Maybe just be like a counter for Team R7, just in case if R7 move. So AimGuard facing 1v1. A little bit hard here with the time turner, and there you go, 1 punch. AimGuard takes 1, but sadly the pickup has come just in time. Despite losing there, R7 looks strong for elimination kills.
Yeah, I mean, their positionings have been huge. I mean, it looked as though they were in trouble earlier, but they have been able to recover. They've been managing to get all these stragglers all around the map. They don't really have to full commit as well in this situation. And currently, they are hot. They love going for these fights. They're not allowing this isolated 1v1s. And even if there was an isolated 1v1, the reaction time coming from his teammates to trade out immediately, not allowing for the perpetrator to get away safely, is just phenomenal. Vitality this time around finds Dudes, but his teammates are rallying, chasing away here. Dix understanding his predicament, trying to put himself away from the other members of the team. Great pickup here for the glue wall, but Dix not fast enough as RQ look at it, choke him from the other end.
Trying to go for an attempt of a 1v3. Dudes managed to get 1. But sadly could not get the other. I'm sorry, not Dudes. A member from Vitality almost gets all 3, but sadly it was a 2v1 ordeal for him. I believe is making his way towards boxing gym, trying to save life for Team Vitality. Azrael as well on the southern part of the map. So for RRQ, I am in a bit of a doubt whether or not this lineup is actually stronger or whether Kiba's lineup is stronger, because in my opinion, I almost see no difference here. Maybe the style of play of 18 year is what they wanted here in Point Rush. Maybe 18 year is slightly aggressive than Kiba, but the results are not really showing. Maybe just a little bit, but not so much. As Mal is making his way to Deka Square, caught Azrael in his route. Running quite low, has to dash towards the back. Azrael inside the house. Could find time for a med kit or 2, but no. He knows he has no med kit to do so, so Azrael goes down. Another point goes to RRQ.
Great pre-fire as well. You know that RQ spots 1 member out. You have the long range hit, and immediately 2 members rush up forward to collapse. We'd love to see what's happening on the other side of the map here, as Lost did find 2 members of the White Tigers on the other end. But bringing our attention back to RQ, Pain is here as well. Bit of chip damage onto Mal. We see a bit damage onto Abai as well, but it doesn't deter him from playing a little bit more aggressive. I think that he does want to try and get a bit more closer to Pain Gaming. But meanwhile, on this side of the map, we have for Falcons on the top side of this building, and this could be massive. If they could find a nice angle to core memory, this could spell Pain for them as well. And speaking of Pain here, Pain finally getting that first pick off onto Abai, finds him as well. Montavea doing God's work, if you ask me, because even 18 Deer following into his footsteps.
Okay, flying away, Dudes is open to get shot, but only a few connected by Pain Gaming. So RRQ safe exited the square, leaving Pain Gaming all alone over there. On the other side of the map, near Farmtopia, in between Farmtopia and Plazaria, actually, it's AGAL and Vitality fighting off between two compounds. A few shots were made to show presence, but there is no aggressive execution by both teams. Well, a fumble there by Kyong, throwing a grenade inside the house, meant to be thrown towards the opposite side, but maybe a little bit off angle, I could say. There you go, a large airdrop nearby for both teams to fight for. And in Farmtopia, you can see some lasers coming up from Team Falcons, possibly shooting towards both Team EVOS, Divine, and as well as Core Memory. Dutch and Mal slowly making their way towards the new zone. It looks like Mal might be a bit safer to be inside. Dutch has to walk a little bit longer. For Dragons, maybe they might meet with Buriram, and for Pain Gaming, they might be the third leg in between Vitality and AGAL.
I would love for Buriram United Esports to get a bit more aggressive, kind of catch DRG off guard here, as much as I'm rallying for this team to really catch up as well. But a little bit more aggression could be huge. But it's Dragons that bring in that aggression on towards this team. Fluxo now in trouble, all alone here. Was not expecting the speed coming in from DRG. Yasser is the one to fall, in fact, as Prox will be the one to open it up. Bunsin falls, Prox as well. DRG, they know how to collapse. But for Fluxo, they're very much still in the game, as the only member that has been eliminated is still just Bunsin. DRG, on the outside of the compound, don't want to over-aggress. They have no clue where the other members of Fluxo are, and Fluxo decides to take things into their own hands, rushing outside, finding that space, and hoping to find the DRG members a little bit more close. Finds nothing, because DRG decides to just skedaddle out of it. They got their elimination, and they said, let's not push this issue, because we don't know who exactly is close by, who exactly is watching, and most importantly, we do not want to get third-partied.
Finding an area where you could get back your teammates up automatically, it's not something Dragon wants to be in. So it's smart enough for Dragons to fall back, avoid conflict for the current time being, because that fight was not in favor of them in the end, as members of Fluxo managed to come back alive from being knocked. So smart move from Dragons, and what I can say from the MENA team is that still they should play safe. We still have yet to see the first team to be eliminated here. It's almost going for the fourth zone here. And for Team Lost, they finally come into camera right here, right beside Team Fluxo. Team Dragons came back as well. Maybe try to get a third-party kill here and there between Lost and also Fluxo.
So keeping fairly quiet right now, understanding Loss is close, DRG as well, which they did encounter for the time being. But over on this side here, R7 now in trouble as Pain completely collapsed onto them as well. The same could be said about Core Memory. They are now in trouble. Bodies hitting the floor from EVOS, from Pain as well. Everyone is a free-for-all. It's a bloodbath over on this area of the map. Suddenly, it's silence. The players all separated by just blue walls, but the only casualty out of all that is EVOS Divine, and this should slow them down. Core Memory should be very happy about this, because this could be their chance to kind of increase their lead. As Fluxo now in trouble, Lost looking to aggress, finds that one pickoff, Box answers back, Prox 7 eliminated already. Fluxo only works with 2 members left. That time turner making it hard for them to aggress forward here, but DRG is joining in. Bob's on the outer end here, still able to watch from the outer side, but Lost a jump shot forward because again, one elimination to themselves. Remind now knocked out. The same could be said about General. It is a bloodbath, left, right, and center with Lost with only one member standing. Haina, last man standing. He has been the phenomenal game changer for this team, and he must survive.
The triple threat match between Fluxo, Lost, and Dragon. What an amazing match, and they still are at it. Dragon chasing down the last member from Team Fluxo, trying his best, and C4 saving his teammate. Sorry, not Fluxo, but Lost. Eliminating Fluxo, Lost on that play. Fluxo is still alive, by the way. AGAL and BRU interacting with each other. They lost Joanna for Buriram. AGAL now only gets Saifa to be knocked here, but Saifa can still get up on his feet. Same goes to Get High as Moshi provides space. Wasana all alone, trying his best man, and get high and Mochi is on the ground. And Wasana was shot in the back. There you go, Burinam has got AGAL won the fight, and at the same time, Paying Gaming 9th place as well, taken down by another team. Falcons and team RRQ is at it near Farmtopia.
Oh man, RQ putting a lot of pressure onto Falcons. It's hard for them because they're out there in the open. The zone also pushing for them as well. But RQ says, you know what, screw it. Let's just rush up toward them. Let's make it a hunt. Finding the Hawks as well, the Falcons, excuse me, making sure that they don't get too aggressive because AGAL is also close. They take a big chunk of damage here, and RQ, they're marking both teams. Aggressives forward here, and AGAL want to change the trajectory of out of this Cypher Peaks, but he falls. Ball was very much ready for him as well, with Bobs also on the other end of that map, wanting to see whether or not he can steal away an elimination, and he does. Kiroro goes over to the Futsal players, but RQ not done quite yet. Pressuring now this time around, R7, anything that moves, anything that walks, they are in trouble because RQ fights everyone. Joker is bleeding to death. Hugs will be found by eliminate Sifu, but Joker, he rallies. The 18-year falls. DRG cannot hold on. A different aggression coming from this team, but not enough to keep them longer into this game. As AGAL, they rush forward. Desperation is the name of the game here. As RQ finds them, eliminates them, but they're still not down and out yet. But Fluxo on the other end, third partying, stealing away eliminations and kills. Mal as well, his head blown to smithereens. What can you do against this avalanche?
RRQ disappear from the map in 5th place. Daggers and the DR path in 6. Is we are left with 4 members. Movie R7 looks healthy, looks strong. In contrast, the other members, AGL left with 1. Fluxo still with you and Bobs. Meanwhile, Memory only Zen as one. Q and Bob did tremendous work for Fluxo, taking a lot of third-party kills, third-party knocks as team and players are fighting against each other. So R7 now rerouting their rotation in consequence towards the zone. Dio is trying to climb up. They spotted Dio all alone, but Joker gets that kill. Who will get Dio? It's R7. So AGAL 4th place. Movie star R7. Fluxo memories at it. R7 with Fluxo. And Fluxo, bye-bye Fluxo. It is movie star. That is the movie star. And now core memory. ZS1. They are hunting. They smell him. They found him. And they are attacking. And they got him. All 4v1. I don't need weapon. I just did my baseball bat. And with that said, Rainbow 7. Nice booyah. Good gameplay by the Latin American team.
R7, they were picked up fairly early as well, but good recovery plumbing for this team. Phenomenal work if you ask me. It was very, very messy toward the middle part of that fight because everyone was trying to find a piece of space to work with. Core memory couldn't hold on. DRG couldn't hold on as much as I would love for them to rally back. But I have to say DRG looking a little bit more active. But the winner, the booyah out of everything, falling onto Mobistar R7. They have been phenomenal today if you ask me. Quite, I would say, active. Quite, in terms of playbook, they have so many different pages. They went from the 100.
ওকে ব্রাদার্স, এই দিকে দেখতে পাচ্ছি আমরা সবাই ল্যান্ডিং করে নিচ্ছে। দেখা যাক কে কোথায় ল্যান্ডিং করছে, অবশ্যই কমেন্ট দেখে নিব আমরা। চলে যাচ্ছি আজকের টুরে কি হবে, কে নিবে দ্বিতীয় ম্যাচের ভিক্টরিটা। পরগট্টারে সেকেন্ড ম্যাচের ভিক্টরি কে নিবে অবশ্যই কমেন্ট করে জানাবেন আমাদেরকে। হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ রবিন দাদা
ভাই, আমার হিস্টোরি গিলিস ভাই সব 0-0 দেখায়, মানে আমার একলা দেখায়, আর কারোর দেখায় না। শুনছেন?
বুঝতে পারলাম, একটু পর আবার দেখুনি। ওকে, দেখা যাক এখান থেকে নট টিম ফাইটে একজন ডাউন খেয়েছেন, কোথায় তারা আছে সেটা দেখে নিব। ওকে, এখানে দেখতে পাচ্ছি তারা কিন্তু নেমেছে নিয়েতে, একজন ডাউন খেয়েছেন। সামনে আবার এনিমি, অসাধারণ একটা হেডশট দেখলাম আমরা নট টিমের কাছ থেকে, অসাধারণ হেডশট, এবং রিকল করে নিলেন তার টিমমেটকে। দেখা যাক শেষ পর্যন্ত এইখান থেকে কার সাথে একটা ফাইট। এএসকে সাথে ফাইট, এখান থেকে এলবি টিম দেখতে পাচ্ছি। ওকে, কিং ভাই এখান থেকে, জেডি স্কোয়াড দুজন আছে এখান থেকে। দেখা যাক EXAs তারা এখান থেকে ব্যাক করে দিয়েছেন, দুজন দুদিকে ব্যাক করেছেন, দুটো টোকেন বাড়িয়ে দিতে হবে এবং টিমমেটদেরকে রিকল করতে হবে, না হলে কিন্তু এখান থেকে এলিমিনেট হয়ে যেতে পারে তারা একদম শেষ মুহূর্তে এসে। তো দেখা যাক এখান থেকে রস তারা কিন্তু এখান থেকে দেখতে পাচ্ছি একদম উপর দিকে। ওকে রেইনস, আপনাদের টিম কোনটা কত নাম্বার আছে অবশ্যই কমেন্ট করে জানাবেন। দেখা যাক নাফি ভাই এখান থেকে দেখতে পাচ্ছি টিম হাইনা স্পোর্ট এখান থেকে দেখতে পাচ্ছি তারা ইয়েতে নেমেছেন, এখান থেকে দেখতে পাচ্ছি TDC তারা এখান থেকে দেখতে পাচ্ছি টিম হাইনা ভার্সেস এখান থেকে কিন্তু ফাইটটা হবে TDC। দেখা যাক 9 নাম্বার ভার্সেস 10 নাম্বারে একটা ফাইট কিন্তু আমরা কিছুক্ষণের মধ্যে দেখবো, যদি এদিকে রোটেশনটা নেয় তো একটা ফাইট। রোটেশন নিবে কি, তারা রোটেশন নিয়ে নিয়েছে কিন্তু তারা বের হয়ে যাচ্ছে কি এখান থেকে, বের হয়ে গেলে ফাইটটা হবে না। এখান থেকে দুজন ফেসে যাবে কিনা দেখার বিষয়, দুজনের উপর রাশটা পড়বে কিনা। না সবাই চলে যাচ্ছে এখান থেকে, মনে হচ্ছে না ফাইটটা হবে। LV ওকে এটা LV IV আপনাদের স্কোয়াড, চলে যাবো IV এখান থেকে 3 নাম্বার স্কোয়াড। এইখান থেকে একটা কিল আদায় করেছেন তারা, কিন্তু ব্রাজিলে নেমেছেন, সাহসটা কিন্তু অনেকটা বেশি বলতে হলে এখান থেকে অনেকটাই বেশি। তো আমরা চলে যাব এইখান থেকে, দেখি কে কোথায় ল্যান্ডিং করেছেন, ফাইটটা দেখবো আমরা, শুধুমাত্র ফাইট দেখবো কোথায় কোথায়। ইমন গেমিং থেকে এইখান থেকে দেখতে পাচ্ছি UR3D এইখান থেকে দেখতে পাচ্ছি তারা কোথায় ফায়ার উইকেটে নেমেছেন, এইখান থেকে দেখবো কোথায় তারা। এইখান থেকে ব্লু জোনে নেমেছেন 569।
আরে এই শালা ওয়াইপ খাবে মিশা নিয়ে আইছে।
ওকে এখানে একটা ফাইট দেখতে পাচ্ছি TR3D সাথে, ফাইটে এঙ্গেজ হয়েছেন S2K এবং ওয়াইপ খেয়ে গেলেন তিনি। আগের ম্যাচ ভালো খেলেছেন, এই ম্যাচে টানা 3 জনের কারোই ম্যাপ ডাউনলোড নেই, এটা কি ধরনের ভাই বলেন। এবং ওয়াইপটা খেয়ে গেলেন তারা শেষ মুহূর্তে এসে, ভালো খেললেন কিন্তু শেষ মুহূর্তে এসে টিমটাকে হারাতে হলো। এখান থেকে একজন বেস আছেন, তিনি ছাদের উপর নেমে কি করতেছেন। LV এখান থেকে দেখতে পাচ্ছি IV তারা এখান থেকে ঢুকলে কিন্তু সামনে হয়তো বা ফাইট হতে পারে। জেডি তারা কোথায়, মেইলের দিকে দেখতে পাচ্ছি এখানে, এইখান থেকে দেখতে পাচ্ছি তারা এইখানেও কোনো এনিমি নেই, ফাইট হওয়ার সম্ভাবনা কোথাও আমরা দেখতেছি না, ফাইটটা কোথায় হবে সেটাই দেখার বিষয়। ব্লু জোনকে তন্ন তন্ন ছন্ন ছন্ন করে ফেলে দিচ্ছেন, একদম কোনো ছাড় হবে না ব্লু জোনের। স্নাইপার কিং, স্নাইপারের দায়িত্বে কে আছেন এখান থেকে? স্নাইপার পেয়ে গেছেন RIP রিপ কিং ভাই। কারা কত নাম্বার? 7। ইমন গেমিং এটা ব্রো, ইমন গেমিং এদেরকে হায়ার করেছে, দিস ইজ ইমন গেমিং টিম। এটা ইমন গেমিং এর
ইউটিউবার না আমাদের স্নাইপার,
আমাদের ইউটিউবার। ওকে এখান থেকে দেখবো, তারপরে এখান থেকে দেখতে পাচ্ছি ওকে LV স্কোয়াড যেটা আছে না, LV স্কোয়াডে করে আর কি নিয়ে নিছে, ভালো খেলে LV স্কোয়াডরা, ডোমিনেশন করে ভালোই। ঢুকে পড়েছে এখানে, এখান থেকে এখানে একটা ফাইট দেখতে পাচ্ছি, কোথায় ফাইট দেখবো, এখানে ফাইট এঙ্গেজ হয়েছেন জেডি সিজর গেমিং কে ওয়াইপ আউট করে দিয়েছেন একদম। এইখানে কি ছিল, UR3D ফুল ওয়াইপ আউট, ওয়াইপ করে দিল টিম জেডি। ভালো খেলতেছেন টিম জেডি, কিন্তু আস্তে আস্তে অনেকটা ভালো অ্যাগ্রেসিভ খেলতেছেন। TDC ভার্সেস হায়না, এখানে দেখতে পাচ্ছি একদম সামনাসামনি, কিন্তু তারা কিন্তু এখানে ঘরের মধ্যে ঘর খুলেছেন, সামনের দিকে আগে যাচ্ছেন। ফাইটটা কি নেবে কিনা কি মনে হচ্ছে, নাকি এখান থেকে ব্যাক দিবে কি মনে হয় অবশ্যই কমেন্ট করে জানাবেন। টিম BD91 টিম কই, BD91 টিম আছে ব্রো, এখানে একটা ফাইটটা শেষ করে নেবো আমরা। দেন চলো, তানভীর ভাই একটা কিল আদায় করে নিয়েছেন, এখানে দেখতে পাচ্ছি উপর থেকে কি ফাইটটা দিবে কি না, এখান থেকে ব্যাক করার ডিসিশনটা নিয়েছেন, মেবি উপর দিকে চলে যা ট্রাই করবেন। এইখান থেকে দেখতে পাবো এই যে আপনাদের ইমন গেমিং এর স্কোয়াড কোথায়, ইমন গেমিং এর স্কোয়াড কোথায় এই মুহূর্তে। ইমন গেমিং এর স্কোয়াড কি ওয়াইপ খাইছে কই? ও না, এই যে ইমন গেমিং এর স্কোয়াড আছে এখনো দেখতে পাচ্ছি, এই যে তানভীর ভাই আমাদের এখানে দেখতে পাচ্ছেন, না তাহের ভাই এখন তো লাইভ আছেন তারা। এখানে ঢুকলে সামনে হয়তো একটা ফাইট হতে পারে, তো দেখা যাক এখান থেকে সেটি তারা কিল করেছেন 5টি কিল এই মতো করে নিয়েছেন এলবি স্কোয়াড রাশ দিয়ে দিচ্ছেন এখান থেকে আইভি রাশ দিয়ে দিয়েছেন একদম জেডির স্কোয়াডের উপরে জেডির একজনকে ডাউন করেছেন সিএম ভাই ডাউন দেখা যাক একটা কিল আদায় করে নিয়েছেন অসাধারণ তানভীর ভাইয়ের এখান থেকে গান ফায়ারটা সামনে আরো এনিমি আছে তাদেরকে নিতে পারবেন কিনা স্নাইপার কোথায় এইখান থেকে অসাধারণ শট দেখতে পেলাম উপর থেকে চাপাটা পড়েছে ম্যাক্স 7 এর নিতে পারবেন কি হিল করে নেবেন টিমমেটকে এবং এখান থেকে কি ব্যাক অসাধারণ শট এবং এই মুহূর্তে টিম জেডিকেও ফিনিশ হয়ে করে দিল এই মুহূর্তে আইভি স্কোয়াড ভালো খেলেছেন তারা ডোমিনেশনটা এখানে কিন্তু একটা বরাবর ভালো একটা দেখালেন দেখা যাক শেষ মুহূর্তে তারা টিকে থাকতে পারে কিনা
টিডিসির এক নাম্বার প্লেয়ারটার আমাকে টিমে নিয়ে আসেন
টিডিসি কি খেলেন তিনি ব্রাশার না সাপোর্টার
আমরা দেন আপনি তো ভালো সাপোর্টার আহমিদা এটা ডু হয়ে গেল এটা টুর্নামেন্ট পার্টনার হয়ে গেল
क्या बात हो गया ना ब्रो আগে বিয়ে করে নাও একটা দেখে বিয়ে করে বউয়ের সাথে ইয়ে করবা ওকে এখান থেকে চলে যাব দেখা যাক এখানে টিম হয় না বের হয়ে এসেছেন এখান থেকে তারা যাচ্ছেন আবার এদিকে তারা এদিকে যাচ্ছেন তাদেরকে রাজ দেওয়ার জন্য সামনাসামনি কি আবার একটা ফাইট দেখবো কিনা আমরা যদি আগাই এখান থেকে দেখতে পাচ্ছি ফিল্ডে ইমন গেমিং এর স্কোয়াড এই মুহূর্তে ফিল্ডের দিকে আছেন এই থেকে দেখতে পাচ্ছি আরেক ভাই তারা কিন্তু বরাবর ব্রাজিলেই এখন পর্যন্ত হোল্ড করতেছেন তারা চান ম্যাচে টিকে থাকতে তো দেখা যাক শেষ পর্যন্ত কি করতে পারে
ফিল্ড একটা ফাইট হবে
ফিল্ড এখানে দেখতেছি মার্বেল সাইডে তা নিয়ে আছেন ফিল্ডে ঢুকে পড়েছেন আইবি স্কোয়াড ঢুকে যাবেন কি এদিকে নট টিম এখানে ফিল্ডেই আছেন তারাও কিন্তু আর কোন কোন টিম আছে এখানে দেখবো এইখানে দেখতে পাচ্ছি একটা ফাইট সঙ্গে সঙ্গে হবে টিম 5 এর সাথে কোন টিম এখানে যেন দেখলাম আমরা কোন টিমকে দেখলাম টিডিটিটা কোন একটা টিম ফিল্ডে ফাইট লেগে গেছেন একটা টুকুস ফাইটের এখন পর্যন্ত আশঙ্কা দেখতেছে না সবাই কাছাকাছি আছেন কিন্তু কেউ কাউকে ব্রিজের এই পার আর এই পার তারা দুজন বসে কেউ কাউকে দেখলে কিন্তু ছেড়ে কথা বলবেন না দুজনকে ড্যামেজ দিতে ট্রাই করবেন দেখা যাক শেষ পর্যন্ত কে এখান থেকে ব্যাকটেরিয়াটা করে ভিক্টরিটা নিয়ে যেতে পারে সেটাই দেখার বিষয় তো এখান থেকে স্ক্যারার দেখতে পাচ্ছেন স্ক্যারারটাকে ফাটিয়ে নিলেন
এখানে পেট দিয়ে ঢুকে যাওয়া উচিত আই হোপ
জোনটা এই মতো কিন্তু একদম সিকিউর পজিশনে আছে কিছুটা ফাঁকা মাঠে গেলে সেই ক্ষেত্রে কিন্তু অনেকটা বাজে পরিস্থিতি হতে পারে আইভি তারা জোনে ঢুকতেছে এখান থেকে দেখতে পাচ্ছি
টিডিসি কিন্তু তাক মেরে বসে রয়েছে ব্রিজের ওই মিলে
এই মাথায় এরা বসে আছে তাক মেরে এই মাথা থেকে এরা বসে আছে তাক মেরে যে কোনো মুহূর্তে একটা ফাইটের আশঙ্কা দেখবো জোন যদি যার দিকে যাবে তার ফাইটটা কিন্তু সবচেয়ে বেশি ইম্পর্টেন্ট হবে দেখার বিষয় এখন জোনটা কোন দিকে সিঙ্কিং করে
রাশ দিয়ে খুঁটি খুলে দাও
ভেঙে দাও হাইনা টিমের খুঁটি এখান থেকে তাই ভাই কই যাচ্ছেন তারা ব্রাজিলে ঢুকে পড়েছেন এইবার কি ফাইট হবে এলরোডের সাথে দেখা যাক এলরোড তারা কিন্তু আগে থেকে এখানে বসে আছেন
তারা কিন্তু ব্ল্যাক হাউস হ্যাঁ
দেখা যাক ঢুকে পড়েছেন কিনা এখানে তারা হোল্ড করতেছেন ওকে এখানে একটা পাইপ দেখতে পাচ্ছি তাদেরকে প্রেসার দিচ্ছেন একদম জোনের ধারে আছেন আর পি একটা কিল আদায় করে নিয়েছেন স্নাইপিং তার হাত থেকে ভালো কিছু দেখতে হবে এটা কার টিম সামনে কে আছে এইখান থেকে দেখতে পাচ্ছি তাহের ভাই এখানে একটা ফাইট হয়ে গেছেন একজনকে হারিয়ে ফেলে দিয়েছেন তারা রোডস হোল্ড করতেছেন তারা এই মুহূর্তে জোনে যাওয়ার ট্রাই করতেছেন জোনকে প্রাধান্য দিচ্ছেন সামনে ঘরে ঢুকলে সেক্ষেত্রে হায়নার সাথে একটা ফাইটটা এঙ্গেজ হয়ে যাবেন এখানে হায়নার সাথে একটা ফাইট এঙ্গেজ হয়ে গেছেন দেখা যাক শেষ পর্যন্ত উপর থেকে প্রেসার আরেক ভাইদের স্কোয়াড উপর থেকে প্রেসার দিবেন এই দিক থেকে ঢুকে পড়েছেন আরেকটা স্কোয়াড একজন আরেক ভাই সরাসরি একজনকে নিয়েছেন এবং ডাউন করে ফিনিশ করে দিয়েছেন এইদিকে আরেক ভাইরা কিন্তু উপর থেকে ভালো একটা ডোমিনেশন করলে সেই ক্ষেত্রে কিন্তু ভালো কিল বেরিয়ে আসবে নট টিমও কি এখানে ঢুকে পড়েছেন কি না এইখানে আইভি এইখান থেকে দেখতে পাচ্ছি নট টিম পিছন থেকে আসতেছেন তারাও থার্ড পার্টি করতে পারবেন এখানে যদি ঢুকে যায়
টিডিসি ও টিডিসি ভার্সেস হাইনাই লাগছিল বুঝছেন তাই তো বলি
এইখান থেকে নট টিম ঢুকে যাচ্ছেন সামনের দিকে। হ্যাঁ 10 ট্যুর আছে। সামি ভাই নাম চেঞ্জ করেছেন তিনি, কিন্তু আমাদের 10টা নাই। ও আমাদের 10টায় সেকেন্ড স্কোয়াডের নাই, সেকেন্ড স্কোয়াডেরও 10টায় আছে।
নকটক দিয়ে শুনেন খেলবে কিনা নকটক দিয়ে বসতে বলেন, কথা বলে দেনি খেলে ভাই, নাহলে কিন্তু আর কি করবো।
দেখা যাক এখান থেকে কি করতে পারে, নিতে পারে নাকি। হয় না, এখান থেকে একটা ফাইটের ইয়ে করতেছেন, স্কাইলার মেরেছেন আমাদের সিফাত ভাই, গোল করতেছেন। আর লাইফ খেয়ে যাবেন কি, এইখান থেকে একজন ডাউন করেছেন আর একজন শুধুমাত্র আছেন 5 নাম্বার টিমের, তাকে হোল করতে হবে এখানে। ওকে গ্রেনেড থ্রো হতো, দেখা যাক। ওই এইখানে কিন্তু কোন টিমটা যেন আছে, ইমন গেমিং এর টিম মেবি। এইখানে ঢুকে পড়বেন, ডাউন করেছেন এবং টায়ার ভাই ডাউন, লাস্ট এনিমি এবং ওয়াইপ আউট ইমন গেমিং ভাই। ভালো খেলেন আইভি, এইখানে তারা কিন্তু ভালো একটা ডোমিনেশন করতেছেন, কিলগুলো অনেকগুলো করেছেন, মারাত্মক খেলা দেখাচ্ছেন তারা। দেখা যাক শেষ পর্যন্ত টিকে থাকতে পারে কি। টিডিসি আবারও কি ফাইটে ঢুকে গেছেন তারাই। ও দুজন বেঁচে আছেন, শেষ পর্যন্ত তারা কি ঢুকতে পারবে কিনা জোনে, দেখার বিষয়।
পারবে না, যদি হাইনা অ্যাভয়েড করে ফেলায় তাইলে পারবে।
হ্যালো, ওকে দেখা যাক এই ক্ষেত্রে শেষ পর্যন্ত কি হয়, সেটাই দেখার বিষয়। অসাধারণ একটা হেডশট দেখলাম তাদের কাছ থেকে। এলডার ফাইটে এঙ্গেজ হয়েছেন। এলরড ডাউন, এখান থেকে ডবল ভেক্টর নিয়ে বসে আছেন, তার টিমমেটকে রিকল করতে হবে, কিন্তু তার কাছে হয়তো বা একজন ডাউন, দুজন বেঁচে আছেন। দেখা যাক শেষ পর্যন্ত কে ঢুকবেন এখানে। বেঁচে আছেন কে? টুরবো একা।
ফুল টিম ওয়াইপ রিভাইভ দিয়ে দিয়েছে, দেখছেন না অবস্থা।
আর কিং অসাধারণ স্নাইপিং দেখতে পেলাম আমরা এখান থেকে, নাক টিমের কাছ থেকে অসাধারণ স্নাইপিং।
অবস্থা হইছিল,
দেখা যাক শেষ পর্যন্ত ঘুরে দাঁড়াতে পারে কিনা।
আইনা ফুল টিম অ্যালাইভ, 4টা কিল। ফিল্ডারের অবস্থা খারাপ, নটের 3 জন। নটের পজিশনটা মোটামুটি ভালো।
ডাউন করেছেন একজনকে, উঠে যাবেন কিনা। একজন ডাউন আছেন, বাইজিৎ ভাই উঠে গেছেন। ওই প্রিন্স ভাইয়ের অসাধারণ শট, এখান থেকে একটা ডাউন করেছেন, দুটো ডাউন করে নিয়েছেন। স্কোয়াডটা কি ওয়াইপ আউট করে দিবেন কিনা, কি মনে হচ্ছে। এখান থেকে লাস্ট এনিমি, স্লো এনিমি বেঁচে আছেন এখান থেকে। আর একজন স্লো আর এর উপর ফাইটটা করেছেন, লাস্ট এনিমিকে আর কিং এখান থেকে স্নাইপিং দেখবো কিনা তার কাছ থেকে, এবং ওয়াইপ আউট খেয়ে গেলেন তারা। অসাধারণ শট, দেখা যাক এখান থেকে ভিক্টরিটা কার হাতে যায়। আর নট টিম 3 জন নিয়ে ভালো একটা পজিশন ধরে আছেন। জিটি একজন ডাউন করে ফেলে দিয়েছেন। শট, একজন কিল কনফার্ম করতে পারবেন কি? কিল কনফার্ম করতে যে তারও কিলটা দিতে হয়েছেন তাকে।
আরে ওয়াল মার, দেখা যাক না ভাই কি করে, আইজিট কি করে, সিফাত কি করে।
আচ্ছা তুমি একটু কথা বলো তো। হ্যাঁ শেষ ইয়ে তো, আমার স্যারে ফোন দিছে, আমি একটু কথা বলে, তুমি বকবো করে একটু। আসসালামু আলাইকুম।
প্রেসার করতে হবে, নেট যাতে পারে প্রেসার করতে হবে, সম্ভব ফাইট উইন করা।
হ্যাঁ স্যার ঢালাই শেষ,
কমপ্লিট হয়েছে,
ঢালাই শেষ হলো একটু আগে, শেষ করে যে রুমে আসলাম।
ভাইয়ার অ্যাডভান্টেজটা ভালো ছিল, বাট
হ্যাঁ
আরাম মেমাইট
হালকা হালকা পানি আছে সাইডে।
17
হ্যাঁ
17
এই পানি শেষে আবার কালকে সকালে পয়েন্ট দিয়ে করতে স্যার।
24 গেম
না 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 পানি এ করে দেখুন মেশিনতে মোটর তো হ্যাঁ 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 সেটাই জি স্যার আচ্ছা আসসালামু আলাইকুম হ্যাঁ লোক নিছি স্যার হ্যাঁ স্যার লিখে দিছি তো আপনাকে স্যার ওটা 200 পিস 20 মিলি রড হ্যাঁ আর 195 পিস আছে 16 মিলি রড আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে জি স্যার
And Vitality completely overcomes. And DRG, another early end to the game. But the same could be said of Vitality here as well, as the Falcons look to swoop down and bring hell upon them. But they are still hunkered down. They have access to the arsenal as well. Could buy a bit more space and time. Quick trades from both these teams here. Kiroro knocked out already. Vitality quick to take him out of the game. And now here comes the hesitation from the other two members of Falcons.
Falcons are falling back. They wanted to try and get a third party set in that arsenal, but sadly Vitality was prepared to receive that third party. Peter was found behind the rock. Another point towards Vitality. Despite being in last place currently in the overall standing of the point rush stage, they are still in their own roaring spirit to still perform in a Solara. So Vitality is now on fire. However, AGAL is in the goal as they lost Chinoy towards Pain Gaming and Dew running away with the car, trying to prolong that logo of AGAL in Solara.
Honestly, I am quite surprised at Vitality's performance. Granted, they start the game here at last place, and they brought the heat, they brought the fire. They realized that it's not over till it is over here. As EVOS on the back foot, they don't have advantage in terms of terrain, but they want to change that. As Pain forced to play a little bit more back, Nuda doesn't not like to relent, and he eats a lot of damage. Looks to reposition, a jump peek forward, finds nothing quite yet, and they are waiting. The only thing, everything in this ship is thrown to the table. Nuda first on the fall. Aimgot looking to rush forward here. They move in tandem. Peter eating a lot of damage. Rushes up forward. More damage done as well, as every single one of members of EVOS Divine looks to rush forward. But for Pain Gaming, not able to stop this onslaught. They are running for their lives. They do answer back with their own utility, their own needs here, but it does not stop the aggression coming in from EVOS Divine. Ray is close, so is Aimgot for to play that tip of the spear play. They rush up, but still not able to chase at all. You want to hunt, but you cannot find them. Gus close by. Free Fire's about this 1v1. Jump forward here, but they were very, very much ready. Gus steals away a point, but Ray looks to step up to the plate and try to do what his teammate can. But stopped by the glue walls here. It's just a game of bring around the Rosie, trade it all around here, but Russia at the very least does find Peter.
TV Tower has a lot of noise in it as Pain Gaming is still yet to start the fight with EVOS Divide. Gus goes down as well. We are now left with Noda. Looks like empty. Sexy subbed out again. Noda comes in. But sadly, Pain Gaming could not survive the clutches of the White Tiger. So EVOS Divide won that fight. TV Tower is theirs. And looking at the update of the next zone, it's going towards northern side again for the second time. It's going to be Riders Club and Fun Fest, a little bit of Waterfall, and teams on the south such as AGAL and Peter has a lot of ground to cover in order to enter the new zone. Meanwhile, Brookstone still around their side. Peter was found by Sci-Fi by AGAL. Sadly, Peter could not prolong himself in Solara, giving 1 point, their first point to AGAL.
Honestly, I like where Lost has positioned themselves over onto Riders Club here, which means that if a team regresses, they can quickly bring their teammate back into the game, and most importantly, they can stop their onslaught. They're still very much inside of the zone, so they can just chill there if they want to. Can go for long-range fights as well. They don't have to just super go and chase around if they don't want to. Cormary smack dab in the middle of the circle, as well as Buram United United Esports, slowly making their way into the zone. I would love to see Buram United Esports get a bit more active and aggressive. They are known to be a team that can explode onto certain maps. We saw that on day 1, map 1. We saw that today onto the first map as well. They were able to just take hold on their fort against 3 different teams. So for me personally, waiting for the right moment for this team to really wake up and shock us is what I am super excited for.
Lost and Buriram United Esports is going to meet with each other here in Waterfall. Lost will be on the north, Buriram United Esports will be in the south. So Waterfall, not much compound can be used here, a few houses here and there. However, the distance between the compound are quite large in comparison to the other point of interest in Solara. Joanna cooking the grenade, hitting hitting no one actually. Meanwhile, Moshi hitting a lot of bullets from members of Lost. Nice dash by Rigby taking down Moshi. Buriram United Esports is now remain with only 3. Get High has to find time to recover. General and Rigby right in front. Rounder tries to come in closer to provide the third man backup for team Lost. Rigby could not find anyone, but Wasana was found by General. Wasana running back. General knowing that they are nearby. They entered the house. Could not get away from Lost. General sticking his bullet onto Wasana, but it looks like Wasana took General down. Get High together with Rauna. Get High is on the ground, but Wasana with the revenge. 5 HP, but Lost is the winner. Buriram United Esports at 9th place.
And this is heartbreaking, honestly, because Buriram United Esports were the ones with the advantage. It was just one player jumping around, being a bit more slippery. It felt like Buriram United Esports sort of just got a bit more overwhelmed, perhaps overheated here, as they got a bit more greedy when it comes to those points, and they were severely punished for it as well. Now, in terms of rotations, a lot of teams coming from southern side, looking at Pain, looking at Evo's Divide. There's going to be Sibat Core Memory here. Whatever Core Memory right smack dab in the middle of the circle, that advantage is gone, because it pulled toward Riders Club, and Lost probably kicking themselves for deciding to rotate away from the stronghold, and now it's in possession by Pain Gaming.
The monster truck blocked the trajectory of the grenade thrown by ATAL. What luck does ATAL have right here? But despite that, they still want to move towards Team Falcons. However, Ballas lost in that fight. He looks like he tries to use the monster truck. However, bullets came out instead. Dew goes down as well. It's going to be a very close game between AGAL and Falcon. Peter bring around the Rosie together with Sci-Fi using the glue walls that is being made by AGAL. Sci-Fi takes Peter, but at the same time limits. Provide that long range backup, taking down Peter. However, Sci-Fi managed to get back to his feet. So it's only limit left here for Team Falcons. A good execution done here by AGAL. They might want to leave limit to himself. It's better off AGAL. Find all the resources nearby, all the bounty that they have made in order to find enough points, enough resources to revive back his fallen teammates. Winner for Falcon. Limit is on the bad end of the stick as Motavia found him all alone. AW at the end, but nah, man, your head is just too big for me. There goes Motavia. Pain Gaming lost one member, but Limit has to fight with the zone. I'm not so sure whether or not he has enough mech to do this. He has 7, so he's fine. It's just that the mission for him to revive on fire Peter and Kiroro is superbly hard.
Pieces as well, but Falcon did a phenomenal job so far already. They've already survived this long, and most importantly, 8 eliminations, but he's slowly but surely making sure that he's going to be able to steal away some extra points if he were to go down here. But that point stolen away here by Rasha, denying him the one extra point, and Limit must be so frustrated right now. I know I would be, as Limit makes his way into the circle. Not even a close by area for him to go for a revive as well. Not the easiest situation with Vitality coming in front, and Vitality is on fire. This is rough, and he does eventually get eliminated to that zone.
Yeah, there you go. Falcons 7th place. To me looks so nice. It ends inside Riders Club at the main building. So now we're looking at Rasha got caught by Kuga with his wood backup, but yeah, Core Memory took down Sci-Fi so easy, so clean. So AGAL 6th place. Evos Kochil managed to actually get back Rasha up to his feet, but Core Memory is hunting Okay, we're back. All right, good. Cougar tries to go for the push. Skylar nicely put by Zed. Exposing Koji. Goes down. Koji now it's only Rasha all alone. Will the Wonder Kid go for the plus? Nah, man. There you go. Core memory takes down Evolve's Divine. But at the same time, Vitality is disturbing the pathing that is trying to be took by Core Memory. Fly goes Dawn. ZS1 is still waiting outside of the zone together with Cougar. Zed is safe. Cougar, will he be the same? Yup, safe as well. Vitality missed the opportunity to get Core Memory, but at the same time lost. Nice grenade with that Alvaro cluster, but sadly could not hit all three members of Core Memory's KOG.
Pain Gaming is just so scattered right now from around different areas. My question is whether or not they're going to be able to just rally and play off each other here because they're just so far away. And I think Noda X also sort of shares the sentiment, so he's just rotating a little bit more closer with his teammates here. So, positions all noted, so everyone out in the open. If anything, right now, my question is how exactly Lost is going to try and make their way into the circle. They do have a bit of space to work with for Pain juking that way a little bit more closer as well, excuse me, as Vitality a little bit more aggressive when it comes to hold. They have a lot of space to work that southern side, a lot of control of that area as well. But Cougar and his teammate have been fairly quiet, so they could become a team that can just try and catch people off guard here in that corner.
This might be a Vitality game. Look at their position right here. They are on the rooftop of the main building of Riders Club. That is basically exclusive real estate. Such nice positioning by the Indonesian team. However, we have to see the closer right here. The four remaining teams heard the last sirens here. It looks like the circle will pull towards the top right hand side of Riders Club. Vitality has to make a move. Lost could potentially catch the Indonesian team flying down, but now before that nice grenade by Koja. Double kill for him. And there you go, Vitality eliminating Pain Gaming of 4th place. We are now left with 3.
I love the position of Vitality here. High ground in the control. A lot of space as well. And because of that, they can just make it rain and pain from above here. Steals away another 2 members of Core Memory, making it so hard for them. The final man left standing here, looking to try and just survive. Maybe, but they're going to rush. They're going to try and chase here. Dawn alone in the corner. They have an idea where he could be. That glue wall is a perfect indicator of where he could be. And I think they're just going to try and aggress. They jump forward here. Dawn falls, and they cannot do more than that. A 4v4 here, which is Lost and Vitality, and it sounds so scary. Rigby eats a lot of damage, but Vitality, they love the Barbar gaming here from Indonesia. They got one knockdown already. The nades, everything in the kitchen is known as well. And Faiz from the top side, make it rain, make it hurt. Nando cannot hold on here. Tries to get at least a trade, cannot do more than that. Rahon as well, and Vitality still survive as a 4 till the end, and that's a booyah to close the day for this team.
My eyes never lie. Vitality had very tremendous, amazing, magnificent position right at Riders Club. They had a monster truck gracefully dropped before them, providing them a safe route to go towards the lower end of the ground. And they caught everyone at the end of that zone. They played amazingly towards Pain Gaming. They caught off members of Core Memory, and they control Lost up to point that Lost is even in a loss, pun intended, because they could not find Faiz that is on top. Kudos to Vitality. What an amazing last game here for Point Rush stage.
Honestly, super exciting matches, but Vitality, oh my gosh, I'm just so in awe at how exactly they positioned themselves in terms of advantage, in terms of playing off each other, and in terms of getting that information to use against other teams as well. They were so methodical, and they took both these teams by themselves one by one. Decision-making, peak. Aggression, peak. Firepower, also peak. We were wondering what the heck happened to this team. This team was on last place as we got got into the sixth map with 29 points only. And for them to rally, this is insane mental if you ask me, because it's not over till it's over. It's just point rush, and there's still a big situation, a big advantage for them to be able to take care of.
Yeah.
Excuse me. As Vitality ends this game, I believe, with 33 insane points.
That is very good points here for Vitality. Definitely will not be in last place right after this. I could imagine the roaring fans of Vitality inside the Qiddiya Arena. They had a very good fan base coming here in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. So with that moral support from the fans, Vitality finally could at least prove themselves worthy in this point rush stage. And another honorable mention I would like to say towards Team Lost and Core Memory. Their batting was good despite being mowed down by Vitality. They survived up until top 4, and that alone is enough for them to secure points. And for R7, despite how we've been praising them today, playing so well in point rush stage, sadly in the last one they were in 12th place, eliminated quite early in the match by Buriram United Esports.
Honestly, in all, whatever it is, I'm not sure if Gideon is watching, but Gideon, you had a good eye here. Core Memory still very much a stable team, like you've mentioned. Very, I would say, active, very, I would say, aggressive as well. They knew how to survive. And you know what's even more exciting? The fact that the panel chose a majority of them actually voted for R7. And R7 was one of the earliest teams to get knocked out. Is this a panel curse? Honestly, at this point, I don't know what to say. I'm not saying.
You might have that point there, Taz. However, it looks like we are ready for an interview at the Qiddiya Arena. So, Carol, what would you like to say about that last game?
Wow, point rush stage was definitely breathtaking. And talking about point rush stage, we have to point it out how good Movistar R7 was today. And of course, we have to talk with this man here. Gamers King, congratulations on your performance today. You did amazing, and right now the whole world is watching you. So I have two questions for you, and of course it's all about your performance today. You have definitely a standout performance. And what do you think that made the biggest difference for you in your gameplay style today during the point rush stage?
Hoy has tenido un performance excelente y quieren saber cómo te has sentido hoy y qué crees lo que te ha dado lo que necesitabas para tener un performance tan bueno hoy día.
Bueno, la verdad necesitaba tiempo creo que me costó adaptarme al dispositivo y bueno, la práctica también, el entrenamiento. Muy contento con mis compañeros.
All I needed was time. I needed time to adjust. I already got accustomed to the device we were given, and I think that's all we needed. I'm really happy with my performance today.
All right. I see that. Congratulations on that. And also, for us to finish our interview, I would like to know, I'm dying to know, what can we expect for Movistar R7? Because today you guys did such a great game. I'm more excited to watch tomorrow, because tomorrow it's just one day for the grand finals. What are the expectations for tomorrow?
¿Cuáles son sus expectativas para el día de mañana? Han tenido un gran performance hoy día.
Nada, o sea, estamos súper confiados, contentos y bueno, a darlo todo mañana. Todo al 100%.
We are very confident that we're going to bring everything tomorrow. We're giving our 100% tomorrow.
That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear. Thank you so much for that. I want you guys to bring it all for tomorrow. Thank you for staying with us the whole day today. Point Rush was intense, was amazing, and we have watched great matches here. But tomorrow is the grand final. Tomorrow we're gonna watch who will compete to concrete. And that's all for today, my friends. I wait for you tomorrow, and stay hyped, all right? Back to you, the studio.
The stage has been set for Champions Rush and our teams. They've got one more night to formulate their plans and to figure out how they're going to claim their champion title. But what a day, ladies and gentlemen. We saw a very interesting style sort of develop over the course of Point Rush. Very slow for some teams, very methodical. For others, they're still kind of adjusting. Now, unfortunately, the adjustment period is not over because we still have more games tomorrow, but it's with the new format. And the question is, how are some of our teams going to deal with the new format? Because not everyone is very familiar with it, right, Neptune?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, most of the time, I guess it's Southeast Asia that has been in their preseason, Southeast Asia Spring. They've done that and studied how it would work. Thus, despite of not getting into Point Rush and Grand Finals, Onyx Olympus did get a championship. But there's also potential that because of that factor, the confusion as well as the surprise that has been introduced, other teams might also want to do the same. Like what we're seeing from Movistar R7. Like, just break all the boundaries from the beginning of the day, and then you reach that champion rush condition real quick.
You're trying to get to the champion rush condition as soon as possible, right? But at the same time, I think that when you're looking at these teams continue to play, for some of you at home, you might expect, hey, if R7's capable of doing it, what if they eventually have a bad game and a team like Vitality right at the very end suddenly gets a Booyah to steal it away? So it gives a lot of storytelling options, but at the same time, a lot of hope for the teams, especially those who are at the bottom.
Yeah, definitely. Since we're only looking at one day, similar to what we've seen earlier, if a massive game from Vitality and they were just pushed up to the number 4 spot from the bottom as quickly as that. It's just one game. And that's one thing that might happen in the grand finals, and also potential that it can end 4th game, because again, we have some teams who are getting 10 massive points even before grand final starts.
But then we also have to consider we could also go to 10 days. So do they have the stamina to keep it going?
I think there's no issue about stamina here, right? Because even before our professional teams, as the overall stands are being shown, they have already played a good amount of scrims. 4 in their hotel, 2 on the stage itself before you even go live onto the show. But hey, am I allowed to be smug here for a little bit? Can we please talk about the fact that core memory, number 1, core memory.
All right, I got you. I guess Raja and we apologize for ganging up on you.
Yeah, I apologize. But I mean, Core Memory will bring 10 points to the finals. And it's good to remember about the WC last year that Team Falcons just did in the first match. I think it was close to 28 eliminations in the first match. So imagine doing 28 eliminations with more 10 points. So it's a bunch of points. So you need to know how to deal with that. And teams need to be kind of, worried about it, because we don't know what to expect for Core Memory in this finals. But they also had, they also have like 10 points, which is kind of you just need to do more 70, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's easy for us to say just do 70 points, right? We're the analysts. We're not the ones playing the game. But would it be much of an outlandish call to say after today's matches, things are just speeded up 10 times, those 28 eliminations last year? I don't think that's an impossible feat, especially for game 1 after having such a slow start and I guess to a certain degree a slow finish for the play day today as well. But let's talk about some of the teams that we are going to be expecting to do well tomorrow. And this is going to include teams that maybe didn't do too well today, because maybe they're using today to kind of get a feel of maybe where they want to drop for tomorrow, or maybe get a feel of how they actually did in a hot drop against another team. I want to hear a team from each of you. Who do you think is a top dog to look out for tomorrow?
I guess it's hard to answer that question, because I think it's really open to all of them to try to get the trophy. But I don't know. I kind of feel that Indonesian teams, they usually like to play that type of format. So I don't want to believe in that, but I mean, I think Evos probably will start like doing really, really good. I don't know. I think they kind
revenge.
Yeah. Well, so my pick for that question will be Evos.
Should it only be one?
If you want to put another one, be my guest.
In terms of how the format is, again, Booyah is important. Booyah probability, Falcons, and loss.
I love this man when he starts speaking numbers. Go
ওকে ব্রাদার্স, তো দেখা যাক এখান থেকে কি হয় আজকে। এই ম্যাচের প্রথম শুরু হয়ে গেল আমাদের বারমুডা। তিনজনে ঢুকে পড়েছেন এদিক থেকে, টিম ডেভিল আর টিম 11 আর 12, টিম ডেভিল আর টিম এ। হ্যাঁ, এই দুটাকে মাথায় রাখতে হবে। দেখা যাক শেষ পর্যন্ত তার কি করে এইখানে। ক্লক টাওয়ার থেকে এদিকে কোথায় যাচ্ছেন তিনি? একজন মার খাচ্ছেন। সন্ন্যছাড়া হয়ে কেন নেমেছেন তারা বলতে পারি না। একদম কাছাকাছি ফাইটের সম্ভাবনা দেখতে পাচ্ছি। এখান থেকে দেখ কি করতে পারেন তারা। সেকেন্ড হ্যালো ওয়ালাইকুম আসসালাম। হ্যাঁ কে? হ্যালো ওয়ালাইকুম আসসালাম। হ্যাঁ কে? ও কোথায় এলেন আপনি? আচ্ছা আসেন। বাল একদমই বাল, কোনো কিছু ভাল লাগে না ইস্যু। এখন আবার যা লাগবে ইয়াত ভাল লাগে ভাই এগুলা চাকরি।
kill. Double kill.
তো তুই বাজারে আসু তো তুই গেমে ঢুকছু কে তুই এসএমএস কোশ নেই কে তুই জানিস না যে 10টা টুর্নামেন্ট তুই আগে বলা লাগে না যে আমি বাজার আছে তাহলে অন্যজন ঢুকতো না আটটা রাখছি না শুধুমাত্র তোমাকে বলেই দিচ্ছিলাম, তোমরাই তো বললো যে আর পারবে না। না না নাই 10টা আর 8টাই ছিল দুটাই। আমার হয়তো তোমার ভাই আপনাকে তো বললাম আমাদের 11টা টুর্নামেন্ট নাই আর কালকে ভয়েসে বুঝলাম না 11টা টুর্নামেন্টে ম্যাচ ফুল হয় না, মানে ম্যাচ পাই না বুঝছেন, যে কারণে 11টা টুর্নামেন্ট বাদ দিয়েছি। যদি কোয়ালিফাই করো তাহলে ফাইনালে দেখার বিষয় এখান থেকে ভিক্টরটা কে বের করতে পারে, এখান থেকে নর্থ টিমটা কি ভিক্টর বের করতে পারে। নর্থ টিম ফাইটে এঙ্গেজ হয়েছেন, দেখা যাক ওয়ান শটার ভার্সেস ওয়ান শটার। একজনকে ডাউন করেছেন, আরেকজনকে শট, লাস্ট শটের এনিমি, এবং একজনকে ওয়াইপ আউট করে দিলেন। বললে এখান থেকে একজনের উপর প্রেশার পড়তেছেন তিনি, এবং তাকে ওয়াইপ আউট করে দিলেন। ও পিজি স্কোয়াডটা ভালো খেলেছেন, অসাধারণ খেলেছেন তারা। ওকে, একটা টিমমেট ডাউন। দেখা যাক শেষ পর্যন্ত ঢুকতে পারেন কিনা তারা। ওকে, ঢুকে যাবেন মেবি জোনের ভিতরে। 3v2 সিচুয়েশন এখন, দেখা যাক ভিক্টরিটা কার হাতে যায় এখান থেকে। ওপিজি এবং ওয়াইপ আউট ওপিজি, এবং ভিক্টরিটা চলে গেল অসাধারণ একটি গেম প্লের মধ্য দিয়ে আমাদের নট স্পোর্টের কাছে। গেম প্লেটা অসাধারণ করেছেন এবং শেষ পর্যন্ত ভিক্টরিটা নিয়ে এলেন তারা। এখন দেখার বিষয় রেজাল্টে কারা এগিয়ে থাকে, কারা যাবে পিছিয়ে সবচেয়ে বেশি। আজকের মতন এই পর্যন্ত, কালকে আবারও টুর্নামেন্ট নিয়ে চলে আসবো। সেই পর্যন্ত সবাই ভালো থাকবেন। লাভ ইউ, টাটা, বাই বাই এন্ড গুড নাইট। চলো লেটস গো। কালকে হবে কিন্তু টেবিলের ফাইনাল ম্যাচ, তো অবশ্যই সবাই ফাইনাল খেলার জন্য রেডি হয়ে যাবেন। বুড়িরাম অনেক খারাপ পয়েন্ট। CKX R3 ইভোস ভালো খেলেছেন সবাই কম বেশি। ফ্লুক্সো খেলার মতন খেলতেছেন না আমাদের। কাটা আমি শেষ খেলি না ব্রো, আই এম সরি। ওকে চলো আগে পয়েন্ট টেবিল বের করে আসবো, তারপরে গেম প্লে করবো। চলো আজকের মতন এই পর্যন্ত, সবাই ভালো থাকবেন। লাভ ইউ ব্রাদার্স, টাটা বাই বাই এন্ড গুড নাইট।